Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... In case you don't remember, in late 2019/early 2020, I reviewed the then brand new series Phoenix Drop Days, the depressingly still most recent addition to the My Street canon, and also Aphmau's roleplays in general. If you remember from those reviews, or if you paused this video and went to watch them again, which, by the way, if you did that, thank you very much, then you will know that I was really impressed with the core premise and the characters and the novelty of everything, right up until the last episode, which left people rather unsatisfied. One of those people ended up being inspired by the core premise and made Running With You, which I have now got here today to watch in continuing my tradition of reviewing stuff in front of the person that created it. Speaking of which, Aidan, how about you tell us what the production history of this video is?
Hello. Anyways.
Okay, and Emily's here as well. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm in a very screamy mood for no reason. But yeah, so this had a weird production history. All right, so this was initially hypothesized, like I kind of wanted to do this, I think it was after the finale of Phoenix Drop Days, is somewhere around there. It was like a bit after that finale. I was just like, man, I'm disappointed with this series. You know what? What if it was good and didn't muck up the ending? Seriously, it was so dumb. It was like, hey, you know, one of the main character's goals? Yeah, scrap that goal in the last episode. Let's have a new goal out of nowhere for no reason.
Which they don't achieve.
Yeah, they get a new goal that they go nowhere with. So they ended up at square one. So yay. So basically, the series is pointless for that one character. Although Kiori does get her goal, so you know, so yeah, that's kind of the main inspiration to this. So I have half of this is a running plot where someone wants to join a track team. Grand motivations are a bit different. It's not to get a varsity jacket; it's to, you know, be like his father. And then on the other hand, we have a romance plot where someone wants to talk to their crush. Granted, that's executed differently, obviously, because, you know, the other protagonist doesn't know the crush character and doesn't help them, but it helps sort of. It's weird. So there's differences, but yeah, it's basically the same core premise. So generally, at first, this was pre me getting into Gacha, before Fallen Angel and stuff like that. So I was gonna have Jacob do all the visuals for the series, you know. And I was gonna edit all the audio initially. And it was meant to be 2 episodes, but then it happened to change where I'm like, you know what? Let's make it 3 episodes, because that was around time Through Her Eyes came out. I don't know. That's where that inspiration came from. But then I decided to scrap that. Eventually, I decided to make it a single mini movie. But then I decided to scrap that and make a 5-episode miniseries. And this is around the time where I actually got into Gacha, so you know. And then I was like, you know what? And the past few months I've been working on this, so yeah.
Yeah, all the episodes are actually prepared, aren't they? The series has been
almost all episodes. Everything except for episode 5 is prepared, which I'm working on. I got scene 1 made.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I thought you were going to program them all for release beforehand.
And no, I'm almost done. I should be able to get it done in the next few days, hopefully. I have everyone's lines.
Yeah,
so.
Which, much like this review for me, actually, because I realized that with a weekly release, if we're going to review every episode of the series, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a time crunch to make these relevant. However, I'll run that risk.
Though?
You know,
so I wanted every episode to come out on a Friday, but it turns out I set them all on a Saturday. And so you know what I decided to do? And I literally put in the promo every Friday. So I'm changing it to Saturday, even though it was always Saturday. But the promo was wrong. I made it. And it's so annoying. Because like if I switch it to Fridays, it will literally have like episode 2 come out on my birthday, which wouldn't be that bad. But like that episode is also the anniversary of my channel. I mean, on like my birthday is also the anniversary of my channel, which I haven't actually made an anniversary video yet. So it's just frustrating.
I fail to see the issue with changing the dates just because it falls on your birthday.
Because I don't want to double upload. I don't like to double upload too often.
Okay, all right. I guess that's...
We have very different upload schedules, son. I either don't upload, double upload, or one upload.
Well,
I have an upload schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say, I either don't upload, double upload, or have a series that I was supposed to have finished a long time ago and cram it for like 50 videos into one single day.
Yeah. Anyway, so episode 1 is basically the starting of the series, and yeah, I like the episode. Although I will say some of these episodes are like 6 to 7 minutes long, and which they're rather short because when writing this, I kind of had a goal for each episode. And yeah, some of these episodes are a bit shorter than my normal Gacha episodes.
When you say goal for each episode, you mean like time goal, right?
Yeah, time. Yeah, time. Well, goal as in goal for like the plots and stuff.
Oh,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
goal.
That's basically every episode of anything, right? Surely you must have a goal unless you're having like a cutoff.
Yeah, but normally the goals are really short for I don't know. Some episodes are shorter than I would like.
I say that knowing that Taming the Bad Boy has just got sliced in half a bunch of times, and that's how the episodes were structured. So I guess maybe not. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, also, you know what's annoying though? This is one thing I noticed when editing this, editing like episode 1. Episode 1 and episode 3's like house background are totally different. And it frustrates me. I can't fix it and it annoys me to death.
Why did you not check the background or something?
I did, but I must have, but the table was square in both of them, so I got confused and
okay.
The table was the thing.
Keep in mind, in canon, the true background is episode 3's background, not episode 1's.
Okay.
Episode 1 Imagine is episode 3's.
Okay, so I guess this is kind of dead on arrival then. All right, then, fair enough. Without further ado, on with the review.
On with the review.
Running with you.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Found you.
And also, we appropriately start off running with you with somebody running. How fitting.
Yeah.
You'll have to catch me first. No fair! You're bigger than me!
And also, not only is she bigger than you, but you also ran past her, you idiots.
Yeah, listen, I positioned the characters in a area I couldn't move them around much without changing the background.
Yeah, but in Mutant Girl, I think in obviously episode 5 of season 1, I actually had, well, when I chased Julius around, I'd have them go down further around and etc. Play with perception a bit. But of course, this was season 1, so the visuals of that are terrible. But still,
I don't like my voice I did for this girl. I don't like her child voice. It's horrible.
I like it.
that's interesting. Normally, you're quite proud of your child voices. Oh, I should point out as well, all of us have voice roles in this, so I guess we're not entirely unbiased, but, you know, it's a thing.
Nah, I make fun of my own stuff, so it's fine.
Fine. One more round.
I like making fun of like Aidan's stuff and everyone's stuff. It's fun.
Oh, of course, yeah. I feel like I've been a bit on Nobody's review for Mutant Girl on Gacha Review, because I just be defending everything behind the scenes, but yeah. If it's made, I used to have a rule where if I was in a series, I wouldn't review it. But then I thought, okay, if it's made by somebody else, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out visually or anything. There's a lot of other stuff I can talk about than just, you know, my own performance. So that's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's bedtime now.
For example, a character walking in, saying nothing, waiting for the cue, and then saying their line.
Yeah, that part. Listen, this was around the time where I actually first started playing around with green screen, keep in mind. So some scenes in this episode actually don't have green screen and some do. But yeah, definitely playing around, and still today I still play around with it. But yeah, definitely that needed a shortened pause.
Emily, you know how in like school plays and stuff, there are sometimes there are sometimes things where some of like the kid actors will try and will like have to move to a specific point, or they'll be waiting for the next line and don't like improv it through. The pace is absolutely all over the place. That's basically what I'm getting here. I imagine like the audience of parents just like smiling with their thumbs up or something like, "You're doing great, sweetie, you're doing great." When it's you're doing great.
You won't want to get up in the morning for school. All right, you two. I know this routine. What story do you want?
Okay, hold up a second. What was that? So, once again, I have a little bit more inside knowledge that I'm letting out, because I've also supervised the script of this, and I'm pretty sure there was a pause in that line for a reason.
Yeah, I thought there was meant to be a pause in that.
Yeah, there was. Apparently, when editing this, keep in mind, this was edited like a few months ago, actually. But yeah, that I forgot to do a pause there. Why?
Yeah, I think it was like a pause and angle change because the kid's supposed to like look pleading or something. I can't remember the exact part. If I find it in the script, I'll put it on the screen right now. This is what was supposed to happen.
Can you tell us the story of Dad joining the track team?
Can you tell us the story of plot exposition?
To bed.
Well,
15 years
Nah, to be fair, this is what Frozen 2 did. Yeah, it's fine.
ago, your dad wanted you to be just like his father.
Action just has his hand up
To join
forever.
the track team.
Yeah, that's a consistent problem with a lot of Aidan visuals, actually, that the characters in the background don't change poses. You know the phrase acting is reacting? Well, in this, everyone is like complete statues until they come back to life again and say their next line. Again, like a school play.
Listen, it's hard to move when you're doing panning shots.
To nothing.
Unless I want to export it, then I export it again.
Okay, actually, yeah, well, I was going to say that, actually. That's what I tend to do. I tend to render everything with no angles, and then I do another version where I actually apply the camera angles. That's like my new editing method for the latest episodes of Mies and Girl, and actually seems to have paid off, because the visuals look way better, and they don't attract the ire of Quadzy as much.
Race that would classify him as part of the team. During the race, he
What is going on with the camera?
He didn't give up.
I was playing around with moving cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I did tell him in Fallen Angels that the shot that he left on for like the song episode in episode 5 that lasted 24 seconds at least have something that changes. So I guess like the camera was.
Yeah, I may have. Yeah, this camera angle is a bit weird, but hey, the little wiggling camera works, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Wiggle.
Is that on that very day? Now you two go to bed.
all right. Good night, Mommy.
Slow.
I do like the detail of Marie is a lot faster than Jackson. Like you kept that consistent. I was expecting for some reaon the Until We Break Down as soon as I saw the Angel Light Studios logo.
No, different song, different series, different song.
I know. It's just my brain is trained to think that now.
I mean, I include that logo with anything I make these days.
With my lowercase last name.
Oh yeah, this was made a while ago, so Central was made like multiple months ago. So yeah. I would have did green screening here. I know I did some green screening because this intro is all over. I mean, I enjoy this intro. Yeah.
Thanks for making my name purple. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I keep people's colors semi-consistent when I at least get a good color. Oh yeah, I like this shot.
Yeah,
even though I didn't do
look at that logo.
Oh, I guess we're carrying on.
Oh, this shot was great.
I'm tempted to time how long this intro is.
By the way, do some of these shots appear? I mean, I know the edit doesn't, but do some of these shots actually appear in the series, or are those?
Some of these shots do, some of these shots don't.
Okay.
I do have to make some original shots for this. I like this song. This song is a great song.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder who that pink girl is.
Yeah. What a great question.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say, this is actually continuing the long-standing gacha tradition of inserting gacha tubers into the
Oh yeah. I included Miss Devil. You know,
Exactly.
she is. Granted, I had to edit her to make her look human because
because she's a devil. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is her that I made human. She's now a human in this universe.
Yeah, and I guess since we have Pop here, it is appropriate to mention that this does much like Phoenix Drop Days, taking place at the same time as season 1 of Phoenix Drop High. Running with You takes place at the same time as season 1 of The Using Girl. Let that sentence stand where it is and let people imagine where the series is going to go.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. I just like
that
the
as well, but yeah.
yeah, I like the visual effects I applied to the logo here. I don't know, it made it pop.
I just like the logo in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
also, it's
Yeah,
worth
this logo I actually made myself. Yeah.
it's worth mentioning that that's Mr. Proctor, the history teacher, and that's a character that I believe you designed, Aidan, because
Yeah, design.
because you were in charge of the scene in his class, so it all comes together. He's walking on air right now.
No, he's running in a forest. He's not rocking my hair.
I'm assuming this is not green screened because he's not animated running.
Yeah. Again, this was made before I knew how to green screen. Some these scenes were made out of order, basically.
Yeah, that happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of writing a script for your series, incidentally, for any lords and ladies, is because when you don't do a script, you have to do everything in order so you know what on earth you're talking about and you don't mess up in terms of like making too many plot holes or something, which people somehow still mess up doing, but that's another...
Yeah, or like you actually get to know the characters' names because we don't find out like multiple episodes end their names.
I mean,
which annoys me.
I was going to say, so far we haven't learned about any characters' names, but we will.
And yeah, it's been stated.
I can't be late.
Yeah, run. Run, Jackson, run.
Made it.
What the heck did he just do? He just like moonwalked into the school.
Yeah, again, some of this animation is clunky. Very clunky.
Yes, I did it. I made it in time to school. Dun 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 dun.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Jackson, did you hear?
Hear what?
About the girl who started going to our school.
No, I've been more focused on something else.
On what?
In 2 months, they have
This is the first student Aidan's already establishing his future crossover.
track tryouts, and I really want to join, just like my father.
You should go. Future ship.
I plan to, but I'm worried I'm not fast enough.
Oh, that's him. Okay, I haven't seen the designs of these characters sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's Noah. I
Okay,
think
so
Noah
that's
is Noah's design cute. I don't know. I went for like a cute design of him. What do you think? Is it cute? I
mean, I'm no expert. I feel like he looks alright. We'll see what Emily thinks if the camera goes on him again.
It's enough.
Done.
There we go.
Is Noah cute? I try to make the character design cute, but I don't know. I like his design. It's cute. He has freckles. I love adding freckles on characters. If you haven't noticed, I like adding tons.
Oh, he does have freckles. It was really hard to see them.
Yeah, they're lighter freckles. I could have went with darker freckles, but I went with lighter freckles.
Yeah, I'm pretty
lighter
sure freckles are usually darker than one's own skin tone.
Yeah.
That's usually how that works.
His
sure.
design is okay. Not one I would like personally make as a cute character, but it's not like revolting.
What a rating endorsement, not revolting. Emily from Nightwolf 2021.
Although one thing I wish I did with his color palette is I wish it made his color palette different than Brad, because then they pretty much have the same color palette, which, yeah, they're cute colors, but at the same time, if I ever want to have shipping colors, I can't have them be different than each other because they're practically the same color.
Well, to be fair, that's very good shipping bait right there. People that just be like, "Look at us, we're so similar. Ship us, ship us."
No, it's like soulmates. Oh my gosh, they're wearing the same colors. They must be soulmates.
Wait,
Oh
Jacob,
yeah, this
have
is
you
what
ever watched The Simpsons?
I have. Yes.
You know how like all of the couples are established because they look like twins.
Oh,
Well, that's a gacha cliche, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. Having parents that look the exact
cliche, it's
same,
just cliche in
or even
general.
love interest, which is weird when your love interests look exactly the same. Like, it's kind of
Yeah, see,
creepy.
that's- yeah, the
Surprisingly,
thing-
I had something similar in real life, so it's
Yeah, okay. The thing about that is that the reason that that's done is because a lot of the time the characters obviously they are designed first, and then they have like, oh, what are we going to make their parents look like if they're like a child character or something? And the thing is that then because genetics is supposed to say, oh yeah, let's make them look like their child, but you don't. But say, oh, let's make them both look exactly like their child, and forget that they look like themselves. It's one of those things. So. Yeah, that's why whenever I design parents of characters, I always think of like, oh, okay, well, this person got this pawn from this gave this gene like here, maybe like the eyes from this one, maybe the hair from the other one, something like that. There's always some sort of variation there.
You get judged. Yeah.
That's a great idea. 10 times better than the garbage you give me usually.
How dare? Name one bad idea I had. We should kill her. She hurt my dad,
Brad, it's a slice of life.
and I need her to be sliced up.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that conversation was a reference to.
Listen, I need to murder Pop. She shall die.
Yeah.
For hurting my ship.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so context. So context there, yeah, that was that was around the time that was written around the time that Aidan was really pushing for Pop to die in the Mutant Girl.
Listen, it's either she gets redeemed or dies. There's no in between.
There's
No,
a
I'm
lot
wrong.
of betweens.
No in between. Death or redemption.
Okay, clearly your
Or jail.
your
Yeah,
concept
jail
of-
also works.
Yeah, your concept of justice might be a few centuries old, but yeah. Okay.
There should be a fighting game where every fighter is toast with faces. Do you think the Greek gods are real?
No.
Okay, most of those were dumb. But
I
I
love
still like
that.
Ghost Warriors.
Of course you do.
Oh, I forgot this.
Saw you. You caught my eye by the way you dabbed. To
Be honest. Oh, give me a moment.
Oh my god.
There's coffee.
I hate this class.
Oh no,
please, you
it's
hate
a
everything.
bright pink mess.
What? Well, this was Pop's season
Take
1
the trash
design.
out.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that actually is that because Pop was Nasib's original character, I just took every single personal guidance from Nasib as to what her outfit would be, because Pop had a few outfits beforehand. And Nasib is also the person who would complain all the time about bright pink characters. Granted, Pop was a joke character of hers, so maybe that should have been a sign, but you
Yeah,
never know.
apparently she was like a parody of like E-Girls or something like that. Like
Yes,
some sort of...
exactly.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Obviously. But I've got a feeling
Yeah,
you're going to
like
remind me
trash.
anyway.
I'm Pop Josephine, the best girl in school.
And there it is.
Whatever. Says me like that, and you'll feel my wrath. No one messes with Pop Josephine's gang.
Ah!
Really don't care.
Another one of the
Sorry.
references he likes.
Why, you little...
Did you hear they're making a new Scooby-Doo movie?
Can't you see I'm talking to him?
Was that the wind?
I'm going to get you two for this humiliation.
Is she trying to be tough?
Sadly, yes. Take a seat, class.
I couldn't have them sit
Today-
down this time, so they're sitting. Imagine
Take a
that.
seat,
Oh,
class. All stand up.
Yeah. You know all those scenes where Mrs. Dysart is teaching the Mutant Girl characters and they're all randomly standing up for some reason? That's because Aidan couldn't figure out how to get characters to sit.
We will be learning about French Revolution and its importance in the modern day.
Once again, Jackson's stuck in the same position he was as a child.
Yeah, I know. It's like a tick for him. His arm just around
Yeah.
him tenses up.
So yeah, they just ate an apple and
They just shoved the food in their face.
Yep.
They absorbed it.
Oh, there he is again.
How's your taco?
It's okay, but honestly, the school food is pretty underwhelming.
Agreed. That's why I always pack my lunch.
Okay. You know how you were saying, oh, this one I'm playing around with the camera angles. Yeah, we could have done really well with something there. Like maybe Noah was off frame or something. We hear some footsteps and then, oh yeah, pan over to him. If that was an option at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't have the footprints sound effect. That's why I don't add it in my scenes. I don't have it.
You can just download that stuff. There's free options on YouTube.
Well, I need to
I
look
like
into
how
that
he's
then.
also just staring into the abyss, just literally nothing else.
Yeah,
Not
I
even
know.
talking to someone.
No, this is how I stare at people. Listen, don't.
No. I think she means Noah staring into the abyss.
Nah, he's just kind of hanging out because he's super cool and stuff.
Of
With
course.
who? Himself?
That's why he's all by himself, because he's that cool. I think he was like supposed to be doing something else at the time. If so, I'll put that part of the script up on here as well. If I find that scene, there we go. He was supposed to be doing that.
You looking at Noah again?
Well, yeah, no,
Dude, you've liked him since 6th grade. Just ask him out.
I don't know how.
Just walk up to him and ask him out.
That's easy for you to say. How many crushes have you asked out?
Fair point. But still, you should at least talk to him a little.
Oh yeah, no anime walking. Can't do it. Bye. Let's walk back. I can't do it, and I really want to ask him.
Well, you're going to have to soon because the 8th grade dance is in 2 months.
Yeah.
Hi, Coach Poole.
Hi, you look familiar.
Well, oh yeah, we actually got we got the original actor of Coach Poole to do this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
you, my
So if
father,
you don't
Oliver
know, Coach
Orion's-
Poole appeared in episode 7, no, episode 8, part 1.
Yes.
And yeah. Although granted, I don't really watch that episode often because I get very uncomfortable by the episode.
Oh, what? Because shirtless Marwick is in it.
No, it's actually because I don't like plots where a character is framed for an act and then they get in trouble. It kind of freaks me out mentally, so I have trouble watching those episodes and videos.
And this is another
plots.
reason why Aidan hates Pop. Because that was all her idea.
Pop is Satan should die. Anyways.
Aidan's gonna start a protest in the comment section of every single Mutant Girl video at some point, just like, kill Pop, kill. Hashtag kill
Yeah.
Pop, hashtag kill Pop Josephine.
I once wrote that in a script during, I believe it's actually the next episode of The Mutant Girl. And at one point,
yeah.
like when writing that, I was like a certain thing happened, and then I literally typed in the script. Someone randomly a random person walks up and shoots Pop. That's what I did. I had to. I was upset.
You should have kept that, but they shot
No.
her in the leg, so she didn't die. She was just injured.
That's like Regina George getting hit by a bus. That's just a cop-out.
I have your name on the register.
I just wanted to ask a favor.
Anything for my best runner's son?
I want you to judge me running to see how far I have to go to join the track team.
Sure, I love the commitment.
Track.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh yeah, this was my first proper green screening. I remember this.
He's not even staying in the same lane.
Oh no! I just realized something. Yeah, in 4 days, we're recording this on June 5th, by the way. In 4 days, when the first public episode comes out, I better know what one of the comments is going to be. I will say no more.
Oh yeah.
Just so people know, I didn't realize at the time. You'll find out what I mean later.
How did he end up there?
You see, he made a roundabout trip.
No, that's not how that works,
It's
Aidan.
already a loop. Why would you loop the loop?
I looped the loop in. Yeah.
No! And there was such an easy way around it too. You know the easiest way around this? The track part that you have facing straight forward. Have him go around from one place and appear on the other side in the next shot. Don't do
Listen, this was my first time green screening.
It doesn't matter. It's your first time green screening.
That's not an excuse. Realistically, he would have been like, not that side. He would have been closer to Coach Paul, running up back to where he started.
Well, we both know that
he had to turn around and ran back. Yeah. Listen. Listen.
God.
I need some reason for my logic.
Yeah, you certainly do most of the time.
Mm-mm.
Either that or he teleported.
How did I do?
Well,
He doesn't look out of breath at all. It's like,
There are minimum out of breath mouths. What do you want me to do, huh?
well, change his pose to something where he's crouching down and not smiling.
Make his
while
pose
he's-
use the sweaty thing and make him look even more tired. I can think of multiple ways.
Wait, there's sweat?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, obviously, like us, like playing around with accessories, really, because there's ways of like making the illusion of that. But I at least would have probably like had him not necessarily have like a smile on his face until he says, "How did I do?" and have him crouch down. That's it. Those two things I think would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
you're faster than most kids, but knowing how fast people who try it for track are, I don't think you'll make it.
Also, people don't tend to turn around when they run.
You have 2 months. If you train hard enough, you can still qualify to join the team.
Really?
Yes.
Henry face.
Training takes time. You won't see results overnight.
I know, but I'm going to do it for him.
Ooh. My second.
That line all looks jacked up.
Emily out here reviewing the part that she made.
Where are you going?
I'm going out for a run. I'll be back in an hour or two.
Say!
Oh, now my character's stuck in that pose forever.
Yeah.
Well, the episode just ended there, so.
Also, is Marie wearing like kickboxing gloves or something? What's that outfit? What's that?
She wears gloves because she has carpal tunnel.
Okay. Well, that was definitely something. It has a lot of Aidanisms in them, but other than that,
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's a good episode.
it definitely does. It definitely does remind me of well, at least one of the setups of Phoenix Drop Days, because you don't have necessarily the intertwined plotline of trying to set somebody up with your best friends in order to blackmail somebody.
Yeah, I mean that is major. That is something that is different, but
Yeah, so,
it's kind
I'm
of.
just saying it's a deviation. I mean, you're focusing on just the one area or something, which to be fair is a lot easier than trying to do that, especially because it's meant to be your first Gacha series. Obviously, there are plenty of Mutant Girl references in there, possibly a few too many, but then again, that's not.
I mean, well, we see Pop, we see Pete at one point,
Yes.
and
I'm surprised he didn't put a neutral on there.
We have that slice of life joke. We have the bit where the new girl gets mentioned. Yeah, there's there's quite
there's a few.
But oh well, I'd say overall solid establishments and solid attempts at everything, basically. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
hopefully
see
with
what
episode
happens.
2 and beyond, just I don't know, episode 2 and beyond gets a lot better.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
still have to work on my
Do
green
those
screen.
have as many like out of order scenes or stuff that you made months before? Or was it just this one?
No, episode 2 was made after episode 1, and everything should be green screened starting episode 2 and onward.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a was. I'll take
But I
that.
still have the problem. But keep in mind, episode 2 continues the weird problem with the track.
Oh, of them turning around. Okay, fine.
Oh my
Yeah, that
god.
continues for some reason. So
Sweet Christ. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we get to look forward to that in a week's time. Hopefully, by this point, I'll have both of the reviews that I did for Unseen Side of Puppy Love again. There's so many things. Oh well. Pride Month is like that, going all out this year. Because why not? Happy Pride Month to everyone. This has nothing to do with Pride, but it's just a thing.
Happy Pride Month!
There is a gay thing, so I guess something.
I guess, sort of. Pseudo Pride Month thing.
Yes. Okay.
Also, what are your thoughts on the thumbnail for the trailer? I did.
It looks like the dad is going to kill
him.
Yeah, thank you,
What do you
Emily.
mean?
It's not just me.
He's transparent. He's
No,
clearly
he's not.
transparent.
Look at him. He's not transparent.
It looks like he's gonna kill his son, kidnap his son.
I
Something
could see
evil.
that.
They're not. That is not a transparent character at all.
Jackson's faces as well. It looks like he's in danger. Like he has to escape from something. Like running with you, like running away from your kidnapper.
Yeah. Running with you, but more like running away from you.
That's just like a spin-off series I do. Running away from your kidnapper.
Running away from you.
Yeah. Yes. followed up by the futuristic sequel where they're all grown up and actually into politics called Running for Office. Okay, before we get too carried away and actually do make any of these, let's end the video here. Today we are back here with Running with You Episode 2 on Gacha Review.
Yeah, rhyming is timing. Is that hip-hyming? I don't know.
Hip-hyming? Okay.
My hips are thriving.
And I'm rock climbing. Anyway. So
yeah, Maya's also here.
Yes, we're joined today by Baby Satqn or Baby Satqn, and of course, I did the best. Just a fair warning, I did already watch this before. So I do remember sort of what happens, but yeah, obviously there's a lot of mini details that I didn't mention while I was, watching it for the first time. So this could be a much more thorough analysis, but it's not going to be the blind reaction it normally is. Just a heads up.
I have seen this completely because I made it.
Well, yes. So
I know exactly what happens.
Maya's going to be very helpful for this. So yeah, just so you know, Maya, you have the general context of what Running with You is about, right?
Nope, I don't have a single clue. I've never heard of this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! A new challenger approaches.
Oh great.
Is Emily?
Oh, Emily, great, you're here. Okay, good. We only just started. All right.
Do you want to redo the intro, or do you want to just keep rolling?
Redo the intro. Well met, Los Ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of Gacha Review. We're joined by Emily, and now here as well.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but seriously, so Running with You, the basic premise is that the main character, Jackson, who is not on screen right now, is trying to go for the track team at the same school and the same time as season 1 of a different series. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's supposed to sound familiar. So yeah.
Does this overlap with Mutant Girl?
Well,
yeah.
Yes. What gave it away is it Pop standing in the background here. Anyway, without further ado, on with the review. There's Jackson.
You're doing it again.
Doing what?
Oh yeah, in case people are wondering what that was meant to be, because it was in a full shot where you focus on everything rather than one specific thing, Brad is supposed to be staring at Noah. This is Brad in the center, that's Noah towards the right. And he's supposed to be pining over him in the class.
So he was.
Yeah, he was. It's just the fact that because the shot wasn't properly centered on them, that you don't get that full context, basically. But yeah, just clarify.
I can't help it.
I know.
That's adorable.
So, you got
Yeah, exactly, but it'd be more adorable if it was framed properly. That's what I'm saying.
to talk to him?
Yeah, I'm just really shy.
You're not like this around me.
Yeah, because there's this Pop standing in the background. And two.
Yeah, I know. Because the thing about when you do this kind of stuff in classrooms is that yes, sometimes when you're trying to like have a character face forward and be paid into the class whatever is going on, then it does make sense. But otherwise, you're just staring at them. It's like, gosh, why are they talking so much? Blech.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Let's talk about something else, like all the running you've been doing.
I'm pretty sure that was meant to be like more flustered. Like, let's just talk about something else.
How much time have you shaved off?
A few seconds.
That's pretty good for a week and a half of practice.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I can get fast enough to join the track team.
At this rate, you will.
I plan on riding this trail called the Hippomenes Trail. I've run it
Great
before,
mythology reference.
Yeah. So yeah, if anyone doesn't get that, Hippomenes is one of the names given to the love interest of Atlanta, who was a woman who I believe she was a princess actually, but I'm not sure. It depends on your source. Who was really fast. She was really great at running, and of course, being ancient Greece and being of a very high family, whether royalty or not, she had a lot of people trying to offer her hand in marriage. So she said she would marry the man who was able to beat her in a race, which seemed impossible. Then this guy called Hippomenes came along, who was the only one who was actually properly in love with Atlanta, and Aphrodite, or again Venus, depends if you're the Greek or Roman version, gave him 3 golden apples because Atlanta was giving everyone advantages. So those are like they got a head start. And so every now and then he would just drop an apple and Atlanta would pick it up and just fall for it on the spot. So I guess she was fast but also dumb. I don't know. And and yeah, eventually they do get married that way. So Hippomenes was quite literally a trailblazer in that way. So that's why we thought the Hippomenes Trail makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, if you know your way around the path.
What do you mean?
I recognize the name. People sometimes get lost taking that path.
I never get lost.
Remember the museum field trip?
That was one time.
There was also the fall fair that came to town, and Tristan Eagle's concert.
I do like the idea that these two have such a long and complex history that they just reference things and they know instantly. Like, we don't need to necessarily see everything, but just we acknowledge the fact that they have that connection. It's like, dare I say, Reino and Julius.
I promise I'll be careful. Really, I will be careful.
Good.
What about you? What are your plans for today?
I have mall day.
What's that?
Well, you see, my mom gives me $50 and drops me off at the mall so her and my dad can have some alone time.
That's...
Yeah, Aidan, I don't think we need to elaborate on that joke.
It's kind of...
That was not an addition of mine in the script, pretty sure.
I mean... Okay.
Oh yeah, here's my great. Well, this isn't my favorite intro, but I like this intro. I don't know. I like them.
Yeah,
intro.
like I said last time, every time I see the Angel Light Studios logo now, I just think of Until We Break Down. It is weird to see.
It's like whenever I think of the Mutant Girl, I think of Lifeline. It might be easier for you, but do it all night. You're my only lifeline.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you brainwash the masses.
Oh yeah, I know how to brainwash people. It's fine.
Well, let's see how this goes.
In the intro, it'd be better if it was timed a bit well, but...
I used the first 40 seconds to have the character.
I see what you mean. Like every time it goes like do, you can like have like a on the do have a change or something. Like have it be
honestly, for future intros, I'm planning on going in much more of an anime route with the intro. Because I kind of did this on a document for season 2 of Fallen Angels, but I wrote out the exact shots I want to include in the intro, so I know, and I got a song picked up, and I pretty much got everything planned down in my planning document for that.
Interesting.
So I actually know what to do. It's going to be a bit different. Rather than just having focused characters and with a background to them, I'm probably just going to have lots of several characters with stuff that's associated with their story during that season. probably midway through, I'm going to change out quite a few shots because the story changes like halfway through a season because certain developments happen. Just alter the intro a little bit by switching out a few shots. And yeah.
All right, then. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, look forward to that.
I've been walking through the rain. Don't know where
Didn't say it last time, so I'll say it now. Nice moving background, Aidan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, because I mean, if people haven't seen the last review, Aidan did mention that this was that not all of this was done at the same time. So he started.
Yeah, episode 1, episode 2 has. I just realized episode 1, episode 2. Because last time I believe I said that episode 2 would be completely green screened. I apparently forgot that I made these scenes out of order again. So I made part of episode 2
Yeah,
without
so
that
sometimes
ability.
it was before he knew how to green screen, sometimes it was after, which is why there's a bit of a difference.
see your face, I feel your pain.
That wasn't that. Just saying, that was actually with the whole lyrics. I actually wanted to time down with the lyrics.
Okay,
Feeling pain, but if I chose the path I follow, anyways. Oh, also, fun fact: all the shots used in the intro are from episode 1 and episode 2. So there are no more new intro shots. Like every shot that wasn't used in the intro was just made for the intro. So after this episode airs, like you kind of get to see like the rest were just custom shots I made for shot variety.
No, yeah, that's fair. That makes sense actually, because obviously when you do this kind of thing for like on a TV show, you usually have a lot of the episodes already prepared in advance, and therefore you can take those clips if you really want to. Otherwise, if you're doing stuff like on the internet where it's all very much immediate, then you don't have that luxury. So like it makes sense.
I liked what he did with the intro card here.
Yeah.
Like
Look,
where I had
look
it,
at
like,
him! He's not touching the ground at all! See that? It's worse than
No, he
last time.
is. No, he is touching the ground. Shh.
No.
No, he's not.
He's running through the leaves. You see that dark layer?
He's running on top of the leaves. How light is this kid? No wonder he can't make the track team. Has got nothing to pull.
Get how anyone gets lost in these woods.
Run, Baka.
I don't know, maybe they fall? Okay, again, no excuse there. Forget the leaves, there is nothing underneath him.
I should start to head back.
Wrong way, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I start to head back, keeps going in the exact same direction. Jackson does not know the difference between forwards and backwards, clearly, that's what I found out while watching this.
And he has apparently bad perception.
Okay.
I don't know.
This place doesn't look familiar.
Hey, this was my first major green screening.
This doesn't look familiar. Better keep going.
Oh no, I can't be lost.
Oh. Run.
Oh, look at
end
that
up
exact
there.
same place.
Yeah. Listen. So there's two ways of interpreting this forest to me. Ready? The first interpretation is that the goddess is a goddess is here, or this forest is actually magical. The second interpretation is Jackson's an idiot. Either one, both are valid.
I'm going with Jackson's an
Yeah,
idiot.
I'm going with Jackson.
He was floating earlier.
Exactly.
It looks like he's about to hit his head on the rock.
Yeah, he does. That's true. Maybe that's
Ellie,
why.
huh?
Maybe that's why he can't remember why he goes over here, because he keeps hitting his head and getting amnesia.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Ow!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little lost.
Oh.
Could you help me get out of here?
Sure, I'm Nicole.
I'm Jackson.
So,
Okay, again, delivery-wise, little bit of miscommunication there. Do you want me getting out of here? Sure. I'm Nicole. That makes sense. Sure, I'm Nicole. I help everyone get out of places. That's what I do, for I am Nicole.
Listen.
Like, whoa, you're that Nicole?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, she's super Nicole.
Oh my
You know,
word.
she's totally Gumball's mom.
Yeah.
oh, what were you out here?
I was training to join the track team. Why are you out here?
Well, for one, my house is nearby, but mostly, I'm also trying to join the track team.
No way! What are the odds?
I know, right? But
It's just me as the music in the background a little bit ominous.
yeah, I love to run. There's just something about how free it makes you feel, wouldn't you say?
I guess, but... Well, I'm doing it because...
Wait, do we actually see the image of the father in this episode?
Well, not there.
No, wait, that was last episode.
Yeah. We saw it in the intro too, so it's fine.
Yeah.
My father was in it during middle and high school.
I see.
You know, I think I saw you around my middle school.
Now that you say that, I think I saw you around as well. Weren't you in my first grade class?
I don't remember anyone named Nicole in my first grade class.
Well, back then I went by Nick.
Wait.
Oh, look, they're the exact same age. They don't look any smaller.
Look, well, to be fair, this was line art, so they are smaller.
Oh my
Look,
god.
see that small little desk? Also, how do you feel about Nicole's younger look? I don't know. I went for a really boyish look for her.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. When I watched this, she actually said that that she missed out on the fact that that Nicole could have very easily been the trans icon, but it wasn't portrayed that way. It's like, yeah, that was.
I mean, it could go either way with Nicole. In my opinion, I don't know. Maybe it can be, but it also could just be interpreted.
Yeah. I was gonna say that wasn't the intent of the script. I'll take the fall for that one because that was kind of my idea.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah, it could have been clear either way.
Yeah.
Or more clear either way.
Sort of what I thought the first second I saw that.
Yeah, even when I was making this, I was like, I don't know how to make this any more clear. I don't know how I'm gonna execute this. So yeah.
Well, make them look younger first of all, but yeah.
Listen, this was line art.
That doesn't matter. The line art is based on something, and it's clearly based on people who do not.
Okay, no. Aidan, this is what you told me. I can read out a message on Discord if you want, but you told me you want in a kindergarten class looking annoyed at each other. Those were the designs you gave me. I produced it.
Yeah. Listen, you just needed to shrink them a bit more.
Again, which was not mentioned. That's the point.
Just like,
Wow.
I have them
I
like
didn't feel like I had to mention it.
They had to look annoyed to each other. You didn't specify the size, and also that was the size they came in when you exported them.
I don't know. I forget when I make these things. Jeez. Let's just keep going.
I thought you were a guy back then.
Are you serious? To be fair, I did dress like one.
I should have changed the mouth. I should have changed the mouth there when she laughed.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's true. Again, yeah, and this is I know that this was before you started, like before I started telling you to change body positions a lot, especially like mid conversation. So it's not like one line, one person has one pose, and they change just as soon as the other one happens. Also, in terms of reactions, because again, we still have Jackson here sporting his static arm tick from last episode.
Listen, if I move them each time, that I don't know. Sometimes you don't even see the other character by the way I do the zoom ins, or you barely see them. So
well, yeah, but but clearly you do now, so that's not even much of an excuse.
But still, come on. I should get you out of these woods, shouldn't I?
Yes, please.
There was no pause. Audio editing. I should have spaced that out a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to the track fields. Say, how about you and I have a little race? I want to test who is faster.
Yeah, see, again, before the say part, that would have been a great moment to change the body pose and also the mouth to something more smiley and more playful.
Don't remember. Perhaps you were in my dust trail the whole time.
Oh, it's on now. What do you say?
Sure. I have time now.
Great, let's go.
Okay, so they walked up to the position. That's fine. Also, nice cameo. Although
Yay.
again, this whenever and I watch this, we actually both comment on the fact that the colors of the cards are completely wrong for them. So
no, listen.
Yeah,
it's green and purple.
The reason I had Raina's cards be orange is because I was making reference to being a pyro. That doesn't matter so much. I'm more concerned about Judas's cards being green because he's supposed to have, the whitish grey ones because that's where the neutral comes from. Yeah.
No, all right. Here, I'm gonna give some in-universe logic. Besides the fact that I thought the colors corresponding to them would look cute.
Their outfits and
besides that fact, Reina really wanted Julius not to be neutral, so she made him pick grass. But he would only do grass if she did
Water,
apple
so he still has an
perfectly.
advantage. Okay, that's fair. All right then.
Yeah, water. Yeah, water. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the in-universe reason why the cards are like that.
Okay, you know what? I like that. That's okay.
You don't know me, but we're in the same English. and history
Cringe.
class, and
Sorry,
just-
I freaked out and cringe. Sorry. Too real of talking to people. I'm scared. I got social anxiety now. My social anxiety is rising. I'm dying.
Honestly, I think this is
Aidan,
why.
didn't you write this script?
Yes, I did it. That scares me.
You also voiced the character.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Two things about that. One thing is that before Aiden puts like any script forward, he always runs it by me first, and sometimes I make things a lot more intense than they were before. It depends. I may have been up to this one. I don't remember actually, but in this case, actually, this might be the reason that Aiden, for the first time ever, doesn't voice his own main character, because his performance and like the anxiety of Brad suits that character a lot more than I guess a lot more.
I purposely made Brad correlate to me in some regards, like the hair color being it was like my hair was a similar shade to this. Granted, I didn't have the buzz cut. And I just kept several characteristics. The fact that he's associated with blue, has green eyes. Granted, I have hazel, but kind of hard to represent hazel. To be
So
fair.
yeah, very much close to you, and I guess the cringe of talking to someone in real life also reflects that.
Yeah, it
Obvious
freaks me out.
cameo.
Yeah. Well, I got a main role in one of your series for once, so that's
Yeah,
not
but you
complaining too much.
know what? But here's one thing I'm a bit sad about in this series. So since this was only 5 episodes for me, it didn't give me much time to give Noah much characterization or much screen time and development, because the way I've incremented his development is stage 1 was introducing the conflict for Brad. Stage 2 would have them interact like for the first time to get kind of closer. And then stage 3 would be for them to actually have a more full-on conversation and get a bit closer. And then stage 4 would ultimately be asking Noah out. And that's just the general progression. But it left minimum time because they only got to do adequate at like talking to each other for like 1 episode at best, and that was under the constraints of a group project. So honestly, if I ever do a sequel to this, like not like a full-on sequel series, but like a sequel mini movie, I would definitely want to do a lot more with Brad. Like if I do like the Christmas special, I probably will try to write a bit more characterization or not Brad, Noah. Because I do feel like he needs a bit more development, especially with the series not giving him as much as I would like to, because I kind of ran out of time. Because episode 3 didn't even feature Brad.
Are you?
Or
Well, I
Noah.
mean, well, yeah, but episode 3, people will discover why on Friday why that doesn't feature Brad or any of the other characters, but it makes sense. But also, are you kidding me?
Well,
Noah is one of the most deep and complex characters in the series. The way that he stares off into the abyss, saying, "Yes, I have seen things, and no one will know about them." Oh, that's the end of recess. Time to go back to my normal life in society.
Well, it's nice to finally talk to you. My name is Noah.
I'm Brad.
I got to go now, but don't be afraid to talk.
He just entered the store.
Okay.
See you later.
Fam. He left.
That sounded like running away.
I did it.
No, it wasn't running away. He actually had to go.
Yeah.
3.
Also, can we just point out how G-Man gets typecasted by both Aiden and me as the love interest in the series?
2.
Listen, I like G-Man's voice, so, I give him lots of male roles, and those roles sometimes end up being love interests.
Yeah. By the
Oddly,
way-
Diogenes is the one who didn't end up being a love interest for anyone in the series.
That's true.
Diogenes never ended up with anyone.
Yeah, I forgot if the real life Diogenes actually got married or not. If he did, I'll put it on the screen right now.
Did he?
But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we'll figure it out later. For now, I'm just gonna say nice detail about Nicole speeding ahead of Jackson like that. You can actually, one thing that you do actually do right, even in episode 1, was actually the fact that Jackson is there's different running speed to everyone else. Like the speeds of different characters, you don't just put them all on one layer, which has been very easy to do. But they actually do have that kind of they have the different ones. It takes more time to do that, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know nothing about Gacha, but great job following the lines that you put in your background.
Yeah.
So I try with it. But,
yeah, I'm not. Well, I mean, none of them are following the lanes. Forget about following the lines, but yeah, we knew about that before. And here they go again. Neither of them have any sense of direction.
Listen, I'll fix that in episode 5. Listen, I haven't did the big track scene yet in episode 5. I'll fix it then. Gosh.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right then.
And also, you could give an in-universe explanation, like say I don't know. In the editing, like they actually did multiple laps around, and they turned around at one point or something like that. You know, maybe it was like a
and
test.
Jackson did the exact same thing during his tryouts. No.
That still wouldn't
It's a circle, oval thing. There's no turning around.
I don't know. I just want to give a reason for why I made a mistake.
Lost.
a good reason then.
Yeah. I'm going to get faster. Faster than you.
We'll see. No need to pull a Vegeta on me.
Sorry.
Keep going.
That was
keep
all
going.
Jacob.
Again, if you
Shouldn't
let
that
me
be
edit the
these,
script
Kai?
too long.
That was a filler arc. No one cares about that story.
Yeah, if you let me let your script for too long, give me too much creative freedom, I insert references to things, like Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
you know, eventually when we do Mutant Girl Ascended Universe compilation, I eventually want to do like a reference thing to all Greek myths, all character references, all names.
I already started scripting a Cinema Sin style video where I go over every reference in season 1.
There are a lot of references in most series.
I know. I didn't get past episode 1, I think.
Also fun fact, I actually inserted a reference in, I believe it was episode 6 or 5, where outside the police station you had two characters named Sam and Dean talking, and that was a reference to the show Supernatural as a background.
Are you referring to episode 6 of Fallen Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of the Mutant Girl. That's
okay.
right. And no, that was a canonical thing. Also, during Through Her Eyes, I had a background character I submitted to Jacob, and it got thrown in one of the backgrounds for episode 2, I believe, when he went to the or maybe I think it was episode 1 actually. Episode 1, and then I actually had him feature in episode 2 of Fallen Angels.
As a background character. Well, I mean, the more obvious example would have been Helen Mort's cameo in episode 2 of Through Her Eyes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, again, I write a lot of cameos in the background and stuff. So, and even in audio, like I do write a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's all very connected. In any other gacha show, it would be like, oh, you got the character export, you put that there as a reference. But no, with us, it actually means something.
Yeah.
Oh, heading home. I'll see you around.
Wait! How can I reach you?
I train here on Mondays and Wednesdays after school. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds amazing.
Cool. Nice catching up with you. Even if you still can't catch up to me.
That was
out of bypass getting your phone number out.
Why you? I'll show her.
Wow. Oh, that was the end of the episode. Oof. Thought there was more to the episode, but yes.
Oh well, we get to episode 3 soon enough. Anyway, what about the people who haven't seen it? Emily and Maya, what are your thoughts?
I have seen it.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts?
Oh, still, what were your thoughts, anyways?
Yeah.
Apart from their very dodgy running.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I also read the script, so I also know that. But
yeah, true. You do know what happens.
Emily,
to be fair, the plot is semi-predictable. Where you the plot is obviously going to go in a certain direction, and I don't really pull too many curveballs in the series. It's more like the destination, and
yeah, it's always cool to see like scripts that you've read or just seen, or series that you even just know about, just
be made.
Yeah, and not get cancelled. Take note of Gacha Tube as a voice-acted series. So, don't cancel your stuff, otherwise people are like, this was a great idea. Pity it's never going to happen anymore.
Yeah, Honestly, that's kind of why I made this a miniseries and had very limited voice actors in it. Like, I didn't have too many characters and too many voice actors just because, so I could actually get this out, in a decent amount of time.
Yeah, like I said off camera, actually, it's very minimalistic.
Yeah.
It works to advantage sometimes. Anyway, Maya, what do you think?
I thought that was pretty fun. Like, I'm very forgetful with watching your guys' stuff usually.
Okay.
Unless it's like a Jacob live stream, which he posts in every chat. So, yeah. So, I don't really know much about any of this stuff. So, I have no idea what you were talking about with the technical stuff, because aside from I literally have no idea how Gacha works. But from a first time viewing kind of point of view, that was really fun. And it was kind of interesting watching the development between the two people, between Nicole and main character that Jacob's voicing, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, Jackson.
Purple boy.
Yeah, this is why all the main characters have different color schemes, so you can just identify them that way if you get lost with names.
Yeah.
Seem to be doing that a lot lately.
Oh well. Alright, so it seems like raining endorsements all round, which means that you, lords and ladies, have no excuse but to check it out now. Today, we are looking at Camping Memories, Running With You, Episode 3.
Ah!
Yes, it is just Aidan and me this time, because...
everyone else died, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're either recording this too late or too early for other people. And honestly, I am very tired, so I'd rather get the recording stuff out of the way first of all, so...
Yeah, plus, you don't want to have another situation where you have to, just edit it super fast. You could, kind of take your time with this.
I suppose. Although I am really surprised, because the last one, I've never done a Gacha review in a day before, but yeah, that one, for some reason, was alright. I don't get it.
I made this in one day.
Not complaining too much, I suppose. We've got a big one today anyway, so we've got something else to worry about, which is packed for this, because this is the sad episode.
Listen. I'm upset. Listen, this episode is hard for me to, especially, film.
Oh, yeah. We went all out on the sadness for this one.
Yay.
I guess you'll see that in a second. So,
yeah.
On with the review.
Ooh.
Oh, there's no last time with horrendous this time.
No, I never added. I don't know. I haven't added that in Running With You the whole time. There was never a last time. This whole series. In fact. But I like this song, if you can't tell.
Yes, I've noticed.
Rip. I make a joke about it, but I'm still sad about it.
Yeah, I was just listening to the lines because I remember you said that was deliberately chosen.
Yeah, I see your face, I feel in pain. Yeah, kind of.
Something about the path I follow. I can't remember it now. That's a line for Brad and Noah, isn't it? This love's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Great. We love it. Oh, my heart keeps running. Fantastic.
Yay.
Where were you?
Out for a run.
You even need to ask.
I mean, okay, again, that line was probably you even need to ask. Not you even need to ask. It was she's talking down to
her mother. Also, how do you feel about the older version of the mom? Because when making this episode initially, I realized I only had her flashback outfit made, so I had to make her present day look. What do you think of it?
I was focusing more on the hair, honestly, but I do like the outfit in general.
Yeah, I don't know. That's her present day appearance. Plus, I wanted her to wear two different outfits because since there are flashbacks in this episode, I don't know. I wanted an easier way to differentiate the past and the present a lot easier. Of each character looking,
of course,
clearly very different.
That.
Yeah,
it's I also do want different outfits in flashbacks, so I can so you can tell
All right, in the car, both of you.
Run!
I love how they still seem faster than Jackson just because he looks like he's running in slow motion.
Kids, come on, we don't have all day.
Coming.
Again, I feel like some sort of transitional filter would have been nice there, because obviously we're going to flash back and forward throughout this.
Oh no, there is a filter. You see, I messed with the saturation.
Let's
Wait.
do this again. Hold on. Okay, no, I do notice it now a bit, but at the same time, I mean, like some sort of you know how Aphmau does like the flashbacks, like the whoosh, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just in case people get confused, because obviously I know what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. This is why we need someone fresh here. This is why we needed Maya or Emily, but oh well, never mind.
Kids, come on, we have all day.
Coming. Can Brad come?
Maybe next trip.
All right, in the car, everyone.
Race you there.
Oh yeah, fun fact, I think the Can Brad come line was actually supposed to be a yes answer, and I think I changed it because like, this is a family event, you don't need Brad for this.
You're so on.
He doesn't even appear in this. Oh no, the walking glitched out there.
I know.
Oh no.
Thing. I don't know why that happens sometimes.
Race you. I'm
Stolen
sorry
flashback.
for much help.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Next time I know you'll be great at it.
You did great, Jackson.
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, yeah. I just got lost in thought.
Hold on, wasn't he supposed to be looking at something when that happens and looking at like the tent and everything?
He was. I put him in the same pose.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, we can't. Again, with this because of the way the camera's set up and the way it's all done in one shot, you can't always tell exactly where the other characters are looking. Because obviously with the guy,
He was looking at the tent. He was looking at the tent.
I mean, was he though? Because look at the way that this is going on. I mean, he's looking there. Oh, he's looking there, but and then he goes straight out there. Yeah. Okay. So again, not only is it just because of the problem with that, but also the pacing as well. Because yeah, that one we don't have a. I mean, yeah, we have like a fast transition to there, which also is like it doesn't give much moment to sink in. Like you can get a sense that he's lost in thought. He just looks like he's just finished pitching up the tent and he's about to stand up.
You did great, Jackson.
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, yeah. I just got lost in thought.
About?
Nothing really.
Right. So, do you want to tell scary stories tonight?
Yeah. I would love that.
I wonder where Mary went.
I'll go look for her.
Mary? Isn't it Marie?
Yeah, she kept saying it wrong, but I left it in.
Okay.
Listen, just in headcanon, it's actually her nickname. Wait, look. I like to do this when I make this. I had them be in the same poses.
Yeah,
with some of the characters.
Yay, stories!
Ooh, spooky.
You don't have to worry since I'm here.
Ew, kitties. I know, right?
That was that scene.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Sure you are.
Fine. I'm not doing
Yay,
that.
the constant making fun of the I'm fine line.
Yes, which is just a thing out of all of our shows, basically.
Yeah, like it's a mandatory quota in each show to make fun of the line "I'm fine."
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
Oh, Eva.
What? I'm fine.
Dude, you've been spacing out this whole trip, and I know why. I miss him too.
Should have had a fade transition.
Mm-hmm.
Run. Run, Jackson, run.
You almost got burnt in the fire.
What's wrong?
You wouldn't understand.
Yes, I do.
How could you know?
I'm your mother.
I don't know what to do with all my feelings about it. Everywhere I go in this place reminds me that he's gone, and how he's not coming back.
Yeah, I like my performance in that one. I don't know.
I liked it. I feel sad.
I don't know if it was just the take or something, or if I'm like too held back or something. I'm not sure. Or it's just the contrast with the visuals. I don't know. Something about that.
It's okay. Things will get better.
Does this pain I feel ever go away?
Not completely, but as time goes on, you'll hurt less. What is important is remembering the love he gave you when he was alive.
With that same transition though.
That time, the
Yeah,
explorers...
we have more transitions between present and past to past than we are doing from past to present or present to past.
was desperate. The night had been going on for
Honestly, thing I wish I did more to the episode, had more build up to that, like had a few more scenes in between, like kind of transition into the giant, like his emotional breakdown.
I mean, you could have done a kind of montage there, if anything. I don't think dialogue scenes are needed, really. Probably montage would have been fine, just seeing the same activities being done, both with the dad and without. I think that would have gone.
I always struggle with montages, though. Like, I mean, I try my best with them, but
me too. I keep trying to do them, and then I either don't get to animate them, or I run out of ideas for them. But yeah, either way, I do recognize that. Yeah, it's something that does really help a lot in certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, montages are good. I like, for example, in episode 4, there was meant to be a montage that shows the progression of time, but I couldn't really do it since, for starters, they were in the same setting throughout that, like, 1 hour period.
Yeah.
And it would just be moving them around, and I don't know, I just kind of really struggled with that, so I just axed the whole montage and just had a little time skip moment, whereas, like, an hour later or something like that.
I mean, yeah.
So,
again, it's more acknowledgement than most people give to Gacha classrooms and the transitions in there.
Yeah.
They were out of food, water, and they couldn't read the map. All they could do was ignore the frightful sounds of twigs snapping, screeching, and leaves rustling. And they kept going forward and forward and forward until...
Yes.
Until...
Yes.
Until...
Yes.
They reached home and collapsed in front of the tribe, ready to be nursed back to health.
Oh,
Mom, you're such a wet blanket.
come on! What was that?
What? What's the problem?
I think when I remember when I wrote those lines, I was like, this is what happens with me a lot, where I get well,
to be fair, you can be quite a wet blanket sometimes.
I mean that a lot of the people that I tell that were in my project when I told scary stories in primary school, because we were told to do that, featuring the interest of the class. Everyone had a situation where everyone gets killed off like one by one, and I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna make this a bit of an adventure or something. So
Wow.
I was like, well, and then the people in my group just killed a lot of people off really at the end, and it was very cheap. But then again, the rest of it was cheap anyway. So the rest of the deaths and the other stories. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you have to. It can't be scary unless someone dies in it. I mean, yeah, it can.
I mean, sometimes I like to write death in stories. I wrote death in this story. The dad died.
Yeah.
Yay! I love death.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that I remember doing in the script actually was taking out all mentions of the phrase of like of the dad being dead. Not like to say, not just talking about him, but obviously like saying outright, "Oh no, my dad is dead," or that kind of thing. Obviously, making it more like the characters all know what everyone's going through. They all know. They say like, "Oh yeah, he's gone. He's not coming back." That's mostly it. And you get most of the reflections of what they're going through the characters and their interactions, and trying to relive this trip, and it's not actually working out. I feel like that's a lot more powerful than just them simply saying it out loud, and I think it actually works here.
Yeah, you know, he actually, fun fact, I don't have a canon reason why he died.
Well, that's fine. Sometimes you don't need it.
Yeah.
Everyone, there wasn't one scary death in the entire story.
But I wanted to build suspense.
See?
Suspense is boring.
No offense, but Dad was better than this.
LMAO, huh?
I didn't mean...
Again, that really needed some sort of zoom in or a different pose, or she looks away, or something else, not just her going, yes, you're right, your father was good at this, wasn't he? Yes.
No, it's fine. Your father was the best at ghost stories. No one can deny that. It's one of the things I always admired about him. He practiced a lot on me when we were first dating. He liked taking me to horror movies and complaining that
Pretty?
some of them.
Just saying, hearing stuff like love story stuff makes me want to actually make a mini movie about their love story. But I'm like, but that's pointless. But it's cute. But it's pointless.
I mean, not necessarily. Just because the two characters don't end up together doesn't mean they don't make a cute ship. Empress and Felix. Anyway.
No, they shall end up together in my heart.
Yeah, sure, but of course, because that was obviously the plan.
He'd sing Thriller to me when he walked me home. I was downright obsessed with that music when it came out.
Alright, here we go.
That actually explains a lot.
Yep. Why do you think your name is Jackson?
Wait, what? No, that's a joke. Tell me that's a joke.
I'm dead serious. He joked about if we ever had a boy, and when I was pregnant with you, you know.
But that's so dumb!
Dumb or not, it meant a lot to him. And so did you. Both of you. Never forget that.
I mean, that's just funny right there.
I'm sad.
I was as soon as I was mentioning Thriller, I was like, wait a minute, the main character's Jackson. Yeah, this is happening now.
Yeah, I like the name Jackson. It's just a nice boy name, so I'm like, main protagonist. That's how I come up with most of my names. I like this name, so now your name.
And again, you don't have to spell it out. If people know that it was made by Michael Jackson, then they can draw in the dots themselves. We're not spoon feeding the audience, and that's great.
Yeah.
Can you tell us another one of his ghost stories?
Let me see if I remember.
Once upon a time, there was a log cabin in the middle of a...
Oh yeah, forgot to mention G-Man voices the father. Ever need a male character? I just call G-Man.
Yeah,
he's a good voice actor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I didn't know, I usually call Dylan or you.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like maybe I should. I don't know, because I remember when casting this show officially, I just wanted a limited amount of voice actors, and since G-Man's really fast, I'm just like, you know what, G-Man, you're already voicing Noah. Do you want to come back here? How about you voice the father character?
Yep.
That's the story of how he ended up voicing the dad, because he's kind of dead in present day.
Yeah, you're already voicing someone's daddy. May as well make an actual father.
Listen, shush.
Big.
What's a house?
It's kind of like a moor. A wet, grassy land with lots of wind where nothing else grows.
So, like a...
Oh yeah, that's because I was talking about a heath, and that was mentioned because
I know I like this interaction. This interaction's funny.
I was mentioned because of the fact that Macbeth is still one of my favorite plays of all time, and so yeah.
Wait, we should do Macbeth and the Mutant Girl. If we ever do another play arc in the Mutant Girl, I want to do a Macbeth play. I want to do that play.
I mean, we certainly could. There's a lot of death in there, so certainly that'll be your alley.
Yeah,
a bit. Yes.
Well, say field then.
Once upon a time, there was a log cabin in the middle of a great big field. This cabin looked welcoming to...
Again, there needs to be some sort of body change. You're still doing the static thing where they stay in position until the line is done. They can change poses during a line, and they should.
Travelers on
I've been working on that.
But on the inside, on the inside, it was an entirely different story.
But we want to hear this story.
No, I meant... Never mind.
Just saying, the Helen Mort's voice actor, she voices young Jackson. She does a great job.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. She's a good voice actress, and I don't know. I feel like she did a good job pulling off young Jackson.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say normally we have fun young boys called William, but yeah,
was walking through
the
fear.
Actually, I think I was gonna have William voice him initially, but William kind of really busy at the time. I think later down the line, he actually ended up sending me the lines for young Jackson, but that was like months after the fact they actually made this.
Yeah, well,
so yeah, oop. Oh, well, I guess. Hey, I don't know.
You got to be on the ball for Gacha voice acting, otherwise you get left behind with all the plans that we have and stuff.
Yeah.
And had grown tired. He knew of all the terrible, terrible rumors about the cabin, but he could go no further before nightfall. So he approached the cabin, about to knock on the door. It was already open. He pushed in slightly, with shaking hands. Then he tiptoed inside. Tip.
Again, he definitely needed to be maybe more animated for this part. Because I mean, can you imagine like a dad doing this in real life, like him, like with all the gestures and a little bit of the sounds and then the door opening, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that in the vocals at least a little bit. But yeah, if I had to say one thing about G-Man's acting, sometimes it can be either that it could be sometimes a little bit quiet and repressed. It depends.
I mean, yeah, normally I have to actually turn up his lines quite a bit, like a little bit. I always end up turning up his lines at least a little bit, so they're a lot louder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like his portrayal of Dad, especially with the way he actually goes out of his way to make the sound effects. That's good.
Tip. The place was empty. What was it that people were so afraid of? He looked to his left. Nothing. He looked to his right.
Yeah, the visuals definitely should have been changing here. Oof.
Nothing.
This is probably lasting longer than the shot that I complained about in Fallen Angels.
Well, to be fair, there's a dialect.
It was the ghosts of all the travelers before him. The fright was so powerful that the old man jumped from his very body. The ghost pounced on him all at once, dragging him deeper into the cabin. To become one of them. That's why sometimes, in the middle of a deadly silence, an old man's last breath can be heard echoing in the wind. Then,
also, fun fact, I just want to state this. The dad's outfit is very similar to Jackson's present day outfit with the hoodie. Although his lighter. Parallels.
Ooh. Of course, I mean, he was becoming his father.
Oliver, maybe that was a little too scary for them.
Yeah, see, I gave him a name. He actually has a name. It's not just a dead dad. He actually has a name, Oliver. Yeah, I actually gave him a canonical name. So, hey.
Yep.
I don't know. I actually do like to give the parents canonical names. Like, the mom is Felicity, Yeah. I'm pretty... Yeah.
I mean, just that actual alone of naming a character actually makes them feel much more present in the moment. I mean, names are what humans use to give something power and status. So it is something that is used a lot. I mean, you get a lot of things people using just the dad or the mum or something, but it's a lot better when you actually know who they are.
Yeah, plus it makes them feel more like a character and rather than just a random plot device that exists. Like, oh, here, mom character.
Exactly. That's why I said it gives them power and status. That's just human psychology applied into storytelling.
Yeah.
Too scary? I mean, that one seemed pretty tame, honestly.
Yeah. In hindsight, maybe we were dumb kids at the time.
Well, at least you'll be able to sleep tonight. Speaking of which, bedtime!
Okay.
You ready to go?
Also, just saying, I am proud of my audio editing here. You know why? Because I had characters speaking at the same time, meaning I had to add multiple layers, like audio track layers. So, that is impressive for me.
Okay, sure. All right.
Well, more than two. Normally I do only two, but yeah. Normally I only have only two layers, but yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Also, I forgot to acknowledge the fact that you actually successfully made it nighttime.
Oh yeah. I actually knew how to make it nighttime. I was like, all right, just add black on the background to dim it a bit, and wow, it's nighttime all of a sudden.
Yeah. I know. Did you?
Did you
do the same with the characters or not? Because I mean, I feel like
the characters have not been altered at all.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I feel like I should have done that, especially during especially during the actual camping scenes of Musical.
Oh yeah, like during episode 5, honestly, I didn't really care for the way you like. I don't really like when you put the filter over the characters because then the characters have a tint to them. I like when the background is just tinted. You know,
I wanted to make it so that obviously in real life you have it so that you'd have the tint over everything because the light's coming from the sun, so of course it's going to reflect off of everything. That was my thought process at least. Episode 5, what I actually did during that was I had a filter. I had two actually. I had one orange one and one grey one that comes in later, bit by bit, so you can tell the sun is setting as the scene goes on. It gets progressively darker and darker. That was the idea. Anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, bedtime.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I got sad though.
I mean, yeah, I will say that because of the way that it was put together, it wasn't as sad as I thought it might end up being, considering that I saw the script. Yeah, obviously, again, it's just to do with the pacing, honestly. But then again, the content is the same. It's not like there's too much of an issue going on.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been more emotional, but yeah, I definitely did build up because like one thing that I don't like in some TV shows is when they just out of the blue have a plot point like a dead parent or something that comes out of blue. But I don't know. For this series, I actually did a hint at it prior. But in several episodes, it was hinted at briefly, which is good because I don't like out of the blue plot points like, oh yeah, now this is a thing. I don't know. It just feels kind of cheap.
Yeah, it's also slightly unfair for me to be talking about that in terms of the potential of that and not have somebody else with their fresh thoughts come in and think, oh yeah, no, this is what it looks like to somebody who's just watching. Because obviously, to an audience member, it's going to look different to somebody who helped write the scripts and saw what it was.
Yeah. I don't. Hopefully, this gets it more attention because I haven't got any comments on it. Like, I do want to hear what people's thoughts are on the episode.
But yeah, I do suppose so. Yeah, if people do have any thoughts, then don't post them on the review. Then post them on the original episode and see what happens. Let people know what you think.
Well, obviously, comment on the review because comments are good for YouTube algorithm. But that's beside the point.
Well, yeah, but most of the time, obviously the original episodes get more views than the reviews, so why not?
Yeah,
just keep boosting you further. It's all right.
Yeah.
I can deal with one video not being promoted in the algorithm as much. That should be fine. Especially because it might not take me long to edit this. Who knows? We are reviewing Get Up and Run, Running With You, Episode 4, voice acted Gacha Club series, yada yada. It's Running With You, Episode 4. And I'm joined today by Aidan the Best and baby Satqn once again. Maya's back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, original voice of Reina is back.
I mean, I was more referring to the other person we reviewed these with in the past, but yes, that too.
Yeah, fun fact the trivia. She was originally voicing Reina in like the first 4 episodes, even though
Yeah, I think most people who at least watch the extra content of Mutant Girl probably know that. So the ones that are gonna come around and stick around for these reviews. Either way, so Maya, you've actually caught up on where you were last, right? You watched all the episodes that you missed out on.
I assume that's a yes.
Great. So I guess we have no reason to worry about carrying on.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the previous episodes, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still missing episode 1, but yeah, now.
Why would you watch episode 3 before episode 1?
Why?
Because I skipped episode 1 the first time, and then I'm like, okay, wait.
It's
I'm just
not
gonna watch
hard to
episode 3.
watch episode 1. It's on my channel. Link in description, but that's beside the point.
Well, I was gonna watch it, and then episode 3 was just very conveniently on the front page when I clicked on it.
Yeah, what a surprise that one of the most recent videos is further up on the page. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost like you've been on YouTube previously. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this episode is called Get Up and Run, so we're back to the running titles in this. Because I think all of them have like running something in the title except for Camping Memories.
Yeah, episode 3 is the oddity in this series. Honestly, it's a good episode, but it's definitely an oddity of like episode.
I actually did think in hindsight of a title that would actually kind of that would actually make sense and keep like the running theme. Jog my memory, but doesn't matter.
Sounds like a pun.
It is. It is a pun. It's one of those things. There's a lot of shows that will kind of do that. They'll like run with a particular theme, no pun intended, and they and they'll make episodes that are themed around that. Like Blackadder Goes Forth, for example, had all these different episodes that are called like they're named after soldier ranks. You know, they've got like Corporal Punishment and Private Something. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's kind of cool. But it's like more than.
And
just
by the way, fun fact: this episode actually has Jackson go through a mini arc, kind of.
Well, perfect. Yes, and also
many arcs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess in that one, let's look forward to that. Without further ado, on with the review of Running With You. And they disappeared. Okay. That was a short episode.
Is this the same clip?
It feels like Jackson hasn't gotten much faster, but yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of the point of this. He loses horribly. Haha, you slow sucker.
Of course.
Yeah, the general arc of this episode for the character is basically, he kind of gets demotivated and he has to, get up and run. Ha ha ha. Fun. Yeah, fun. Funny, I know. Yeah, a character arc for episode, I don't know.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Correct structure.
I'm fine. It's just nothing. Really. I gotta run home.
I mean, also, listen to that music, though. That you hear that music in the background? That is a constant motif in the series.
Okay. I'm glad you bring it up then.
Yeah, that is actually a motif. I constantly use that in beginning. Like, I use the first 30 seconds because post the first 30 seconds, it sucks. So yeah, I start each episode with random scenes of do. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, sure. Okay.
Now let's get on to the intro because I love the intro.
I'm gonna probably cut this part out, right?
Huh?
I'm probably gonna cut this part out, right?
No!
We've seen this before! We know the intro.
But I love it!
It's fun to listen to.
Okay,
this gives me happiness.
Okay, but don't be too surprised if suddenly the video just cuts. And suddenly we find ourselves in a different location.
Hey, you good? You were acting weird during history. Also, listen to that music.
Yes, I know. I hear the
It's
motif,
Peter Gent's Morning Mood because the Moon Girl used it in the beginning of each season, and I use it as background music for, for Moon Girl related stuff.
Yeah.
Because,
the one thing that we haven't really talked about so far is the fact that this is yet another Mutant Girl crossover. So we get some of the Mutant Girl cast for this episode, which is hence why Morwenna is randomly inserted into this layup out of a classroom that has already been used previously.
I thought Morwenna had all of her classes
They combined English classes for a day.
Okay.
Because there's an in-universe reason why.
Oh yeah,
and they had to combine English classes because that teacher was unable. So for reasons, we'll see that later.
Yeah. Oh. Although, however, I will say that most of the English class is absent in this scene. Like, what happened to everyone?
No, they're all in the room. The room's a lot bigger. We're just seeing a little bit of it.
Of course.
This is what happens when teachers are out. Nobody shows up to class.
I do love the fact that this is supposed to be a crowded classroom because of the two classes put together, and it doesn't feel crowded at all.
Listen, they're all there.
Morwenna's just standing there, and it's like, that's not how you... It's not a surprise anymore, because she's just there.
She's there. Don't worry. It's secretly a surprise.
I'm fine.
Sure?
Secretly a surprise. Okay.
Hello,
everyone. My name is Mrs. Dysart, and I will be your English teacher for today, since your normal teacher is busy with...
Yeah. She got stuck in a vending machine. It wasn't fun.
Okay. So around the time that we were writing this plot point, we were also writing the remake that we promised of The Cupid is in Love with the Alpha, which, by the way, is complete, and we can work on that as soon as Emily is back, I guess.
Let me know what that is. I don't know what that is.
And one of the jokes that we mentioned in the original Cupid is in Love with the Alpha, which, by the way, was a review on my channel. Check it out in the icon if I remember to put it there. We actually mentioned that we think that just one of the Cupids who disappears from the plot altogether was just stuck in a vending machine the entire time, and so Aidan visualized that without.
So random girl got stuck in a vending machine, or a random teacher. I just had Emily make that and make the girl in the vending machine. Unfortunately, since she made it a JPEG, I actually had to go into my art program and cut out the vending machine and insert it on an image that I made. So that was fun.
Yeah, but this is the level of obscurity some of our references get to. Aidan made a joke that my audience would get on his channel.
Yeah, no, I just thought it's funny, the idea of a girl being stuck in a vending machine, especially. So just toss a girl in a vending machine.
Well, my audience, please go over and like the video because you're represented. I guess.
Girl.
So, my class will combine with yours today, and we're doing a group project. In pairs, you are to produce a report on a Greek myth of your choice.
Do you want to group up with me?
Go for it.
Sure, sounds...
Okay, so at that point, in the script, it's supposed to be that I think it's either that Noah approaches Brad, or that already sitting.
Listen, the way I position the class,
and Brad is meant to be to look hesitantly at Jackson because they always do their projects together. So you can imagine them probably sat down on a table next to each other, and then Brad just glances back and is like, "Can I please? I really wanna get to know him," And then it's like, yeah, go on, whatever.
He really wants to get some, he wants to get some. He needs a cold drink of water right now.
I don't want to know what cold drink of water is a metaphor for, honestly.
Oh, no, it's obvious. He's thirsty. Yeah, he's very thirsty. He's very thirsty boy, Al.
I should have got some.
Hey, who wouldn't thirst for that? Who wouldn't thirst? Look at that outfit.
Who wouldn't thirst for an outfit of the exact same color scheme as your own? Why not?
Again, I personally should have probably had Noah wear a different outfit for his character. Character, so I could have a Aphmau color scheme, not Aphmau color scheme, but a color scheme kind of Aphmau where it's different, two different colors that kind of look good together. I don't know, but character.
What's the point of having a group project with another class, a completely separate class that you're only going to be together for one day?
I mean, it's meant to be just for the exercise. It's not like they're gonna actually. Wait a minute, do they go home? I can't remember actually. I'm gonna find that out now. That's a good question.
Fun.
Do you want to group up since everybody else picked someone?
Again, it's supposed to be that these two You know what? I'm gonna get up the script. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Just takes out the script.
Yeah, I did this with Fallen Angels too. It just makes so much more sense for me to, instead of just describe what's going on, to actually properly just read out what we wrote.
Let's clarify exactly what we were trying to get across on a video that people who haven't seen this a million times are probably not gonna watch, because I don't know who would actually be switching between channels to watch the exact same thing twice.
Well, this is a review,
it's 5 years later.
It's different. It's transformation. It's fair use. Anyway, okay. So actually, as it turns out, we did just say Noah comes over to Brad is the first stage direction. Noah, do you want to group with me? Brad looks at Jackson. Go for it. He turns back to Noah. Sure, sounds fun. Morwenna walks over with the rest of the class, hiding her tail from the camera, and then says, "Do you want to group up with someone else? Pick someone."
The tail is hidden.
Yeah. The thing is that with this, that yes, I appreciate the fact that you did place somebody in front of Morwenna to like keep consistent with the idea of revealing her always, that they tell always after she's been first presented as a shock. I appreciate that. However, in this instance, of course, she wasn't even meant to be in the frame before that point, so you wouldn't even have had to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Also, isn't that like Lilo or someone?
Oh no, that's Ivy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, Ivy goes to their middle school canonically now because I had her character still loaded from when I did the Mutant Girl flashback. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change her design to make her, have a present day look. And I'm just gonna throw her in the background. And yeah, Ivy exists.
Okay.
Ivy from the DC comics or something.
What? No.
What? Does that look anything like Ivy from the DC comics, apart from the red hair?
I don't know. I was like, I don't know. The only thing I remember is red hair.
She was a 6-year-old in a flashback one time of when Raiden and Julius first met.
Yeah. Yeah, she had one appearance, so I just threw her in the background.
And Aidan, you wondered off camera why people didn't get this was in the same universe, because all of the lore details have to be, you have to know both of them quite well in order to actually...
No, I threw Pete in the background. I threw Pete in the background episode 1. Episode 2 had Raina and Julius in the background. Yeah, I make it clear, crystal clear that it exists in the same universe. Maybe people are used to like throwing Gacha characters and like random Gacha tubers and Gacha characters in the background of people's series, and they don't normally take place in the same continuity. Maybe that's part of the mentality, I don't really get that mentality.
Yeah, I did mention this before actually, but obviously when lots of Gacha tubers insert other characters into their shows. I mean, sometimes like Gacha tubers, like for example, how we've got a Gacha tuber in this frame as well. But sometimes it's just as a reference, or just to fill up space, or whatever, or as like as like a favor to a friend, like how Nasib wanted me to introduce Pop and Empress into the series because she wanted just to have them in the background somewhere, or just to show that they were around, like say, oh yeah, look, I designed those characters, that kind of thing, because that's what they were doing in the crossovers.
Yeah, clearly background characters.
Yeah, no, I misinterpreted that and made them integral to the plot. That's my beat, but still. So basically, when Aidan and I introduce characters that were there just into series, it actually means something, because, a lot of the times we've actually planned these things very much in advance so that they can actually fit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't run the risk of plot
holes or anything. Writing the script seasons in advance.
Oh yeah, or just writing a script in general, quite honestly, because all the Gacha tubers still don't do that.
Wait, you don't write a script?
And voice acted ones have
no,
to,
we do, but lots of Gacha tubers don't.
How do you go about doing stuff like this without writing a script?
Well, stuff like what we're doing here, of course, falls apart. Any voice acted Gacha tubers also will naturally have a script.
But yeah, most of non-voice acted Gacha tubers will literally just just make up stuff as they go. Like, I kind of want this to happen, so I'm just going to write dialogue and take screenshots as I go.
Yeah,
that's normally how Gacha tubers work.
Obviously, we don't use the speech bubble function or the narrator function in Gacha because we don't need to, because we've got the actors for that.
Yeah.
So it actually but for a lot of people, if you've got to type it out once, then what's copy paste? Am I right? Anyway, let's keep going. Just know that Morwenna was meant to be in frame. Yeah, it was meant to be a surprise. Anyway, all right, but sure.
Oh,
it's movement, actual walking. Take it away.
Is that real?
Yeah, but just saying, the problem with Mora's model in this season is her hair was so big, it's kind of hard to see a tail at times.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's hard to see the tail when you have a wide shot and you don't focus on it. That's also an issue sometimes.
I should have did this. I did.
Because people's focus is going to be on the two characters that are walking away. Or maybe on Jackson once he starts talking, and people realize what they're referring to, it's already too late.
Yes?
You must be the girl that everyone calls the mutant girl.
Well, yes. You must think I'm weird.
Not really.
I like the voice acting of Nova in this scene. It's good.
Yeah, I haven't heard the lines that she did for this one. Yeah, she seems a lot more subdued, almost like she's just,
Well, she's kind of put in an awkward social situation. Normally, I mean, to be fair, she gets bullied and looked at weirdly all the time. So I'm sure
this is still very much during Mowena's shy phase, so it makes sense.
Well, I did recently smash a dresser accidentally.
References!
Yes, references. Uh-huh.
Ooh, that must mean your tail is super strong. I wonder how much.
I don't know. Can we get working on the project?
Right. Sorry.
How about a myth about Hermes?
Isn't that the god of messages or something like that?
Yeah, he's also the god of other things. Thieves, travelers, mischief, and the inventor of the lyre.
Wow, you sure know your stuff. I'm glad I partnered with you.
More than just a
Oh, there you go. He's actually had a body pose to go on with it.
She was meant to shrug, but you can't really shrug in Gacha.
I mean that is a Gacha shrug.
More than just a pretty face. Just like Hermes is more than a guy who runs around with a lot of winged shoes. Sorry, did I make you upset?
No. Yes, I remember why we chose Hermes for this now.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah, the running guy.
Really, I just thought about something.
What is it?
Plus, since it's kind of obvious now that they exist in the world where Greek mythology is, lay of the land with the whole fallen angels confirmation of that. Yeah. It's always nice to reference Greek mythology. Like we did in episode 2, and episode 1, episode 2, and in this episode's where we get Greek mythology actual references. Which is good, it keeps the world together and keeps it kind of relevant to the world.
I mean, well, I'll say like relevant to otherwise. It keeps it consistent with the feel of season 1, where there was a lot of Greek mythology teachings that went on.
Yeah, plus it's one of the cool traits about Morna, being into Greek mythology and stuff. I like that trait of hers. It gives her a cool, unique trait that most characters in most series don't have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of main characters are nerds. Don't get me wrong, but I gave her something to actually nerd over. That and Shakespeare.
I'm a really good listener.
Hold on, weren't you guys talking about Cupid earlier?
Huh?
Weren't you guys talking about Cupid earlier?
That was in an episode that came out in January.
Is it the same universe? Because I thought Cupid was Roman. That's why I'm a little confused.
Oh no, sorry. You're talking about like the Cupid is in love with the Alpha, which was a review that we did of made by somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we did do an episode of Music God, which is season 2, episode 7, Love and Soul, which was about Eros and Psyche. So we do mention Eros by name, and we do say he was referred to mostly as Cupid. I think we'd mention that, but yeah.
Yeah,
we keep it Greek for the most part.
Okay, I was like,
we should have a shirt that says "Keep it Greek." That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, because it's just like, I mean, I was about to say I could print Moena on there, but I actually can't do that. Anyway.
And why not be fast enough?
Honestly, sometimes all you can do is try your best. If I were you, I would keep practicing, and if you don't make the team, then go for it next year. I could never make the track team.
What makes you say that?
Well, I can barely run because...
I see.
Oh, now you change the camera angle to focus on the tail. See? Was that so hard?
Wouldn't that help? Wouldn't the tail help?
The tail may help her swim, but the tail is an active hindrance when it comes to her running. That's actually a plot point in a future season.
Because it's extra weight.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's speed-wise. I'm like, but the tail would help her not fall over because the tails are, in general, designed to assist with balance.
I mean, her
body has its own way of balancing her out.
Yes, that, but also if there's anything that I can associate with runners a lot of the time, especially track team members, is falling over. I'm sure that's a thing that happens. I'm sure it happens, but I don't think it's as frequent as you might imagine.
It's like when she was a little kid dragging a giant stick around,
Well, yeah.
Imagine running while doing that. Basically, it wouldn't be good on her.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Ma, you did get to that episode. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Stranger to being rejected from most sport because of physical limitations. But like I said, try your best and don't worry about what everybody else thinks. That's something I'm working on myself.
Ooh, panning shot.
Yes. If only they were sat down at tables, it would actually look way better.
Listen, I didn't know how to make them sit at this time.
Yeah, just a funny reminder to people, this some of these visuals were made before Aidan realized like how to sit these characters
Yeah,
down.
no, all the classroom scenes were made before I knew how to make them sit down, so prepare for them to stand in the whole series.
How long ago did you make these?
This was made like a month ago.
Okay, hold up a second. Let's just some of these were made a month ago, but you did say that there was those portions that were made a long time ago, like, you know.
Well, no, episode 1 and episode 2 were made a long time ago. Oh. Those were the episodes that were made over 2 months ago, and then I kind of took like a few weeks break, did episode 3, and then took a week or 2 break and did episode 4, and then it took like a week break, and then did episode 5, or worked on started up on episode 5 and finished it.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Oh my god, are those freckles?
Yeah, he has freckles. Maybe I should do a tutorial actually on how to make gacha characters sit down in a classroom. That could actually be interesting.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, I know to now, but you know.
Well, yeah, just for other people. Because I imagine you're not alone in doing that. I mean, either way, what I would have suggested if I'd known about the issue, is to put a table in front of, like, superimpose a table in front, and then have them sat down and just not address the fact that there's no, like, chair rest behind them. They could be on stools for all you know.
Any ideas?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe romance?
Ooh, yes, I love romance.
You do?
Yeah.
We have them emote. Sorry, I just like giving them special little faces.
Yes,
it's
I mean,
fun.
obviously, while they're coming alive, we have Jackson over here in the corner, completely dead. Jackson is having a Nam flashback right now.
No, well, listen, he was meant to be off frame. Imagine he isn't there.
What do you mean he's meant to be off frame? How do you go for an entire shot like there's not notice he's still in frame? I'm so confused.
Shush.
Okay, sure, alright.
Let's look up stories.
They look amazing reading.
I know.
Sorry,
Noah's poking himself in the eye.
No,
I didn't know he needs glasses.
Oh, jeez. Reading was weird with them. They're reading like weird. I think that's meant to be a spell book in the props, but they're like reading a magical spell book. Like, I can summon the power of nature.
I mean, I guess you could say that that's like books on Greek mythology that Mrs. Dysart has, and the bolt is just a reference to Zeus.
Maybe.
I mean, that works. Yeah. Again, a lot better if they had tables, but still, hindsight.
I got it. What about Paris and Helen from the Trojan War story?
Sure. The main reason why I picked Paris and Helen is, for starters, romance, and secondary, there's a character named Helen in it, and I thought it was a fun little tee-hee. Okay. It was a tee-hee.
I mean, of all the romance stories you could have chosen, you chose the one where a guy prays for the most beautiful woman, basically kidnaps her for 10 years, lets the entire nation fight over resulting in a bunch of slaughter because of it, and all because the lady was pretty.
If you're going for a sad romance or whatever, why not go for like...
It's like, sure, all of my friends and family are dead, but hey, what a good side piece I've got going for me. Thanks, Aphrodite.
Why not go for something like Echo and Narcissus? It's like so much better.
I mean, yeah, that's still tragic. But
is there a female character named Helen in it? That's what I thought.
Oh my word, that doesn't matter.
It does matter. Not that Helen Moore is even mildly related, because obviously different god association, but that's beside the point.
I mean, the other thing that you could have gone for actually is Pyramus and Thisbe, because they were referenced in Midsummer Night's Dream. If you want a reference to something,
maybe, I don't know. I don't know much Greek mythology, and I knew. Plus, I knew like the story of Helen of Troy was a thing, and I was like, you know what? That's related to Greek mythology and stuff. Why not do that? That was also one of the main reasons.
That's a nice, sweet, romantic story.
So romantic. Kidnapping is hashtag romance. Just watch Taming a Bad Boy.
I was about
It's
to
so
say
romantic.
That's Taming the Bad Boy, yes. God, even when that has nothing to do with anything, it just still comes back into play. I love it. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I think I heard that story. Didn't the whole war break out over Helena Troy?
Oh yeah, so I did actually reference the fact that this was that happened in the script. I'm glad I caught onto it.
Yes, it did. She was Helena of Sparta before that.
I wonder, what's it like to be seen as attractive? The gods use you as the most beautiful mortal.
Yeah, you okay, Aidan?
Sorry. Sorry, it's coming. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean. I've closed the script, but I'm not reading along. I think I know what you mean. But I thought you were screaming because Noah's gone catatonic again.
Nah. And you have a war fought over you. I wish I was that hot.
I mean, I'm sick.
I don't know about that.
I didn't even hear the line. I just heard Aidan squeal over it.
Rewind time, everybody.
And you have a...
I mean, I'm sure you are to someone.
Okay, right.
I feel weird. I know. I don't know. I'm scared.
It also helps that he's saying it to the character that you voice. Anyway.
I don't know about that.
Let's get started.
All right.
And done. That was fast.
Well, time flies when you're working on Greek mythology.
Clearly, time didn't fly.
Yeah, I know. Unless Noah there has entered the first stage of rigor mortis.
Listen. They just stand and listen. Shush.
Also, although of course we don't use a lot of the gacha trope of having characters there that have to do with the story for the sake of referencing them or supporting other people. What we do have here is the gacha cliche of only showing 4 students in the classroom that are relevant to the plot.
Yeah, listen, gacha is very restrictive. I mean, there will be up to 10 characters on screen, but you also got to take into account the space in the scene. Unless you have like them like floating or something like that, their characters will be very squat.
Not necessarily, because Gacha Club actually does have a way of it does layer things on top of each other, so you can actually play with perspective and have a separate row of students. It makes more sense because the room's supposed to be crowded, isn't it?
They're off screen. That's my logic.
They're off screen, but they just have like this gap here that is. Oh, and
today was fun.
See, maybe she can go fast. I mean, look, what's your go? That was quick.
Yeah, it was.
Can I have your number? You seem cool, and I'd like to hang out sometime.
Sure.
Jackson is secretly fangirling. He's like, I'm going to stay completely still and just eavesdrop. And if they notice me, they notice me.
Yeah, it kind of is eavesdropping, honestly.
Oh. You know what? After this night, we're gonna have to show you the Marwick's birthday party, the next episode that you've missed out on. I want to see your reaction to that.
Oh.
Anyway, one thing at a time. All right, let's go.
You seem in a better mood.
Yeah, I am. Do you want to hang out with you while I try?
Sure. I don't have anime club today.
Ha, weeb.
Yes, I am. Also, it's kind of weird how I forgot we mentioned it. We referenced the fact that that Jackson's a weeb, although that could be more like a playful way of saying weeb.
Yeah. By the way, Aidan Character Creation 101, if you need to find a quirk for a character, just make them weeb.
Yeah, I like being weeb. Excuse me, I am thy weeb, and I want to make everyone a weeb.
I'm a weeb and I'm proud of it.
I will convert you to the church of anime. I'm not afraid to do it.
Hey, look, I get it. I understand and I sympathize. It's just that, it's one of the bits. Also, I just realized, like, all of them, the Muse and Girl crossovers so far, like, they exclusively had Moen and Mrs. Dysart in there. Are they just, like, the crossover characters for you?
Well, I really like Mrs. Dysart a lot. I like her character. Why do you think I'm going to steal her for season 2 of Fallen Angels after you're done using her?
Wait a minute. What am I talking about? There is like I've realized that that's a very clear piece of evidence that like all the time that this was in the same universe. Like forget any other like appearances or whatever. The conversation with Pop Josephine in the first episode is proof enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but people don't pick up on it for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we went out of this. The thing is that Aidan, with all the other stuff, you could have chart it up to what Ghost Kitty does and just like inserting the characters in. But no, we went out of the way to actually like get the same voice actor to portray the character, to, like to prove that yes, this is the official Pop Josephine right here.
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Dysart and Moena, obviously.
1 week later, time jump.
How was I?
That was your personal best.
Yes!
I like this music, actually.
I'm so ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you ready for Friday?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then let me remind you. Friday is the dance.
Okay, I know.
And Noah...
What? Do you not...
Yeah.
You just watched the episodes that led up to this, right?
I did, but like,
Sweet Jesus. Okay.
I'm not really thinking. Some things just have to be spelled out. But oh my god!
Maybe this is where we fail to attract the general populace, Aidan. Subtlety. We have too much of it.
Does it date?
Well, yeah. It is that time. I'd better hurry.
My thoughts, exactly.
I mean, good.
What? We both... Hold on, what? Wait, what?
I feel like the way we portrayed it could have been better. Basically, he was like, my thoughts exactly, and I guess he was meant to be like, oh, oh yeah, you're gonna, do it, and oh my gosh, he funny. I don't know.
Wait,
I'm playing matchmaker.
I think I know what happened. I just pull up the script. Let me just watch this scene again.
Rewind time, everybody. Well, it is that time.
Okay, now I know what happened. So it makes it seem like he's making a really casual retreat here, because like, oh well, it is that time. Like I suppose, very casual. The line is, in fact, well, is that the time? I'd better hurry.
Well, you confuse me with your writing and.
I mean,
Listen.
I'm pretty sure like the whole like is that the time is a common comedic thing, but okay. And then Jackson, my thoughts.
I didn't get that when reading that part of the script.
Yeah, so let me just look at this exchange again. Well, is that the time? I'd better hurry. My thoughts exactly. I mean that. Gah! He starts to run away. Okay, that's what should have happened.
Better.
My thoughts exactly.
I mean, good.
And instead, he just becomes a zombie.
I'm thinking of air, but yeah.
No, it's like, I better hurry. I meant to say, gah.
Not gonna work.
Yeah.
I can obviously catch up to you.
Okay.
And there's the end of the episode, and the finale comes out, in 4 days.
Oh, yeah. Wait, oh, yeah, of course, because you had it scheduled for the end of June rather than...
Yeah, no, all of June. All of June is the running with you.
That almost rhymes, I guess.
It rhymes great.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to say at least one of us achieved a full June release. Although, speaking of that, I believe now we're going to go and do a review on Aidan's channel and look at the first episode of Puppy Love, because I has missed out on that as well. However, let's go with final thoughts of the episode.
I I like it.
The dance.
You want to see the dance? Okay. Yeah, fine. Stay tuned, I guess. Last episode I said, we need to get Maya back, because it's not fair just having me, has access to the script that wrote part of it and knows what it could have been versus what it turned out to be and everything. It's not fair for me to point out all of the comparisons all the time. We need somebody like with a fresh face that's they're not involved in the creation of the project. Meanwhile, you come back and it's like, hey, when is the next episode coming out? I want to see the dance already.
It's a great thing that I like and is completely unreliable for longer than one shot.
Although, speaking of shots, again, I think that's what really lets down this episode.
I mean, the next few episodes, though, I have gotten a lot better about changing poses mid-conversation and, and having more dynamic poses. I haven't worked on them.
From a viewer perspective, they look great to me.
Yeah, see?
I mean, also what happens in this one is that because a lot of it is set in the exact same room, except for that last scene that we just had there, it also needs to kind of like rely on a bunch of other like variation in order to keep people's attention. Because we have long extents of wide shots that don't properly convey what's going on. We have the characters standing up, which doesn't properly convey what's supposed to go on. Then we have Morwenna still sort of one side, which doesn't probably convey what's going on. You see a theme that's going on here. So in that regard, it's because of the cinematography, I think, that actually kind of lets this down a little bit. I mean, we still get the cute shipping moments, and we still get the conversation between
shipping. What series would it be of mine if there wasn't any shipping?
Yeah. Although
I'm starting to lean more towards Aidan shows than Jacob's right now.
Excuse you haven't got to. Excuse you, my ships are more slow burn. Okay, this is a 5-episode.
Oh,
series.
Excuse me, I have a ship that takes place over a season and a half.
But does Maya know about that yet?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know if she saw that yet, but a ship exists over a season and a half.
Okay, you know what, Maya?
So joke's on you, I have an even more slow burn ship.
You know what, Maya? We're gonna. I'm gonna win you back. We're gonna keep watching the music go. I'm gonna see what you think later. I'm so good at that. And Puppy Love as well. That's based entirely around a ship. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I forgot. I had another like final. Oh yes. If you want to find if you want the best Mutant Girl crossover or something, I suggest the Fallen Angels one. It's this one because it feels more organic. We get more character interactions, and weirdly enough, it seems to be it seems to serve more of a purpose for both people both sets of characters to actually grow from it. I mean, Morwenna obviously stays the same in here because she's already got her arc plans. That was necessary. But yeah, in terms of conversation with Jackson, maybe it's just because of the way that it was handled here and that they felt underplayed, but I'm not sure. Maybe I just need to do a script reading of these someday. I don't know. We'll see. Those are my thoughts.
All right, Aidan, I just realized something. My opinion shouldn't be taken as a normal viewer because the majority of my YouTube content is like text stories without audio at all.
Well, you're perfect for the Gacha community then.
I mean, let's be honest, most of the Gacha community just does text stories. I personally prefer voice acted content. To me, it makes the characters seem more, I guess, real and alive when they actually have a voice rather than feeling more like a scripted or like, in many Gacha cases, a non-scripted character that just says stuff and through text, it's not real,
Once you've got the, I mean, it can be a double-edged sword because sometimes if you get good actors, then they can actually elevate the text and they can actually really properly add a different layer to what's going on, to the story, to the characters, to everything. But obviously, if you get somebody who's just reading from a script, it can have the opposite effect. So it depends sometimes. And I for one hope that people still continue to do the non-voice acted gachas because obviously it's a standard that not everyone can actually meet up to because of all the projects that have got cancelled in the past. But I'm glad that some people obviously, try and start up like this, and I'm glad that particularly, that we can add, subtleties of stories and connect everything to one universe, and that I can actually, properly inspire sometimes that shift in some other people. we're coming back to redo something that was done a while ago, but I know it's in my files somewhere, or for whatever reason, just never end up being uploaded. It's not like it's the classic Gacha review where it's like, oh yeah, we really didn't, this is something that's like one separate thing apart, and then we were going to go and do the real thing. No, this should have happened. This should have come out. And I don't know why I didn't. So yeah, we're back to re-review the last episode of Running With You.
Ooh.
And of course, I am joined by the wonderful Aidan the Best and the wonderful Monation. Neither of you is speaking right now, so I'm going to carry on.
Send a joke, please. Send jokes.
Insert joke here, guys. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you haven't seen the previous reviews, watch them.
Oh wait, no, wrong side. Links.
Just like, wait, which side is it? Ooh.
I'm like a Wild West gunslinger. You better click on the links, big partner.
Yeah. Harby harb.
Arg.
Or are you too yellow to click on a link in the description or on the iCard?
Yeah.
You too yellow belly.
Yellow in.
So yeah, once you go ahead, please, it is recommended to actually go ahead and catch up. So we'll give a bit of time right now to go and watch the episodes and catch up. You're all caught up? Okay, great. Fantastic. Let's go.
Ooh, do you want to skip the intro or watch it?
I can't skip the intro and restream, so I'll just cut it out of the video. Right now.
Why does the purple hair boy look like an extra?
I don't know. What's the classification for an extra versus a foreground character? I thought extras were meant to look like regular people.
He looks plain.
What do you mean? He has purple hair.
He looks like he has no substance.
He has. What do you mean? I have a black haired protagonist in a purple hoodie.
He has no substance.
I think she's talking about Brad, not.
Yeah, no, I know.
No.
The main protagonist is technically more plain than Brad. Brad is more eye-catching, realistically speaking.
By real life standards, yes. By Gacha standards, maybe not necessarily.
Maybe not by Gacha standards, to be fair, but real life standards, yeah. Although I would change the pants a little bit. I made the purple, which is fine, but I would have made the rim around the pants a bit lighter. I would have personally changed Nicole's and the mother's eyes and make them two different eyes. These are kind of the same eye, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say they're not based off Nova. Those two aren't based off.
Oh yeah, no, neither of them really based. I would have personally made Noah have a different color than Brad, because Brad and Noah both wear blue, and I personally would have gave a different color for him.
Also, I do love the fact that G-Man. I said this in a previous review, I think, but I don't remember.
He's typecast as a love
yes, because you knew where I was going with that. Yeah, G-Man was typecast as just love interest in our Gacha shows.
But this intro, I don't know. I don't really care for the intro. The song is good, but it's like it doesn't match the energy. Yes, it doesn't match the energy.
I think what this was supposed to be, I think the intro was sort of inspired by, again, Musical Season 2, as was Fallen Angels, the intro, I think. Yeah. The thing is that with Musical Season 2, what I did was I centered the characters and sized them up a little bit, had the voice actors' credits be further down on the screen, and also had the backgrounds moving. I could see why Aidan do the moving backgrounds, because that was an effect I did in Vegas rather than Gacha itself. But the other two things I think would have made it a little bit better.
If you need intros, just contact me. I enjoy creative projects. Yeah.
I mean, but that's great. And honestly, we do know that now. But by the way, instantly, money was responsible for the credits in Musical episode 12. So we've got her to thank for that one. Go ahead and go to our channel, show us some love and support.
Yeah, and they're dating, so if you support her, you're supporting Jacob.
Watch the videos, like them, comment on them.
If I'm happy, Jacob's very happy.
Subscribe to the videos and like the channel. That's how that works.
Yes, agreed.
You get the idea. I'll put iCard things somewhere. Anyway. Also, Mum, if you're watching this, you asked me before, this is an iCard. Just letting you know.
Other side.
This is
that was yep, and you misled your mother. Thanks.
Wow. Fun fact, half these clips were original and half of them were made from the episodes. First
Oh
episodes.
yeah, you use more and more clips actually. That's one thing I kept
Honestly,
forgetting.
I had less clips to use.
if you want me to re-edit this intro, I wouldn't mind. I don't even have a shoot already.
I also noticed that the issue with losing the clips in this intro, the only issue I have really is the fact that a lot of them are talking shots, which distracts from the lyrics or something. And the reason that is because around this time, most of Aidan's scenes were comprised of dialogue. There was not much like visual time to like everything set in.
Yeah. This love got me a long time coming. The breath of my heart keeps running.
Make sure you and Mom are at tryouts after school today.
I will.
Perfect. See you then. I still the fact that he runs in midair in those shots.
He kind of looks like he's on the street. Oh, no. You're early today. I'm shocked you made it to school before me.
Well, I should hope all that training was for something.
That's good to hear.
Since the school dance is tomorrow, are you gonna ask Noah today?
Yep. Pop's just in the background.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, it's better to have her, like, staring at them angrily rather than, like, spaced out and looking away, like in episode 4.
I plan to at lunch.
Are you sure you're ready?
I'm more than ready. We've been texting for a week now.
This is Noah right here, and he doesn't even, like, acknowledge that they're talking about him. He's just standing there, like, not blinking, like, oh, no thoughts in his head. No thoughts, head empty.
I love how Noah can hear.
Haha! He didn't earshot. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
This is like that one scene in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince where Harry and Ron are now discussing Dean Thomas in the room they share with Dean Thomas. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's no tact. Okay. That's good to hear. Take a seat, class. Today was that an eyes roll because you were like, gosh, doesn't he know that we can't animate that yet?
No, that was, gosh. Why is he
Yeah, come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
so annoying? The teacher exists. Ah.
What do you think of the episode so far? What are your fresh thoughts now that you're here?
Yes, I hate that pose Aidan puts his characters in now.
What?
Oh yeah, no, this one here, yeah.
Yes, especially it was very prominent in the intro how much time he used that pose. It's either that pose or the smile.
I like that smile. It's cute.
But how come all the characters in the scene have the same smile?
I just use it as like a default face, honestly, most of the time.
To be fair, like in early Mutant Girl, I used like the same like couple of smiles, like that, like the mini mouth or something like that, or like the larger one. Except for Julius, he had a big toothy grin because he's Julius. But yeah, I kind of get that to an extent. It does, I have made an effort since then to stop using like the same facial expressions too much.
My main problem was like when characters aren't expressing themselves, like I don't want them to all be like when they're not speaking or like
this is why it's good. This is why it's good to have close-ups a lot more than you do now because a lot of the wide shots. This is classic Gacha.
This could have been solved by just like maybe like a zoom out, a zoom in, a small zoom in. Nothing big.
This is why it's good to have close-ups a lot more than you do now.
Yeah, again, but I didn't do it.
And when someone is giving you advice, you should listen to the person, before giving up your thoughts again.
This is why it's good to have close-ups a lot more than you do now.
You could have just zoomed in a bit, pan over the two main characters, and then you can stop at him, and then you can probably cut back to the boy looking if that's the scene you're setting up.
Or actually, my alternative there would be start with the close-ups of the main characters, then pan over when Noah is referenced to Noah himself, and then cut back to them.
I mean, my whole thing with that is I do kind of like to have like a wide shot so I establish where everyone is, because I feel like if I start with a close-up, on the characters and I don't start off a wide shot, it's not a good. It's like having an establishing shot of like a building or like a room or something like that. It's like that's like establishing where everyone is and stuff. So it makes it better to understand.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
I understand the point, the one for established shot, but there's other ways you can reference where the people are. You can either have some sound effects in the background, you can have some other characters running around. Even when he looks over, it can have like some characters running, so it looks like following the characters. And when it stops on him.
We can at the very least right now tell that they're outside, even in a close-up. And if you can interpret the climbing frame, you've got a better visual. Even if that weren't the case, when you pan over to nowhere, you can kind of see the rest of what's going on.
Yeah. Also, side note, I probably would have had someone running. Nowadays, I would probably try to want to have like either like Nicole running across the screen, or maybe other characters in the background or something like that, because we just have Noah there. And it's only
that's actually what happened in episode 11 of Mutant Girl.
Well, episode 11 of the
Hello, another part of the video where I put in my 2 cents. We're gonna have a transition of a full body of a character running across the screen, and then have the pan out, and then pan in just slightly, and then pan over. That way, we have an establishing shot of where we are, what the purpose of this place is. Then we have sound effects to show the purpose of the place of the happenings. That probably makes no sense. But my real question is, why does this guy over here have a taco?
It may be just me, but I think the school's tacos have started to taste a bit better.
Whole Foods stocks.
The moment approaches.
Yes, this time I'm ready. You got this.
He seems so determined, but was still blushing.
Hey, Noah.
Hey, Brad.
Do you want to?
Sorry, do you want?
They are
Guys,
cute. Yes.
I'm allowed to ship my own ships.
Oh wait, that's who we should have added for this stream again. Maya.
Oh.
Do you want to?
Do you want to go to the dance with me tomorrow?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. I'll text you the details.
Yeah.
I think you unintentionally just paid homage to old cartoons from like the 20s, 30s onward. Yeah, look, it's like din din. But if people don't know, in lots of classic cartoons, there was and movies and such, they actually there's a lot more sequences that are timed to instrumental music, like the movement of the characters.
I believe that was due to the invention of synchronized sound, and the creators want to take advantage of it. That's why there are lots of music-based shows, like, what do you call it again? Happy Melody? Something Melody time.
You ready for today?
Yeah, are you ready to lose?
I have no plan of losing.
Me neither.
Go, Jackson! Kick everyone's butts!
I'm glad she's here, but why does she have to be so loud?
Mom, you should take a chill pill.
Oh.
No, Soul is here.
That is absolutely my mum cheering for my brother's football matches.
Today for tryouts, I will have 3 people race at the same time. Whilst racing, I will gauge how much time it takes you to get from point A to point B. If you lose the race, you can still make the track team if you're in the top 10 fastest runners.
Yeah, somehow I think there's going to be a problem, Coach School.
Okay,
Somehow,
in universe, there is meant to be more people. But again, it's one of those things where I have trouble showing a high amount of people, because even when I fill out every other character slot, like all 10 character slots, putting them all on the screen at once is a cluster. It makes it hard to identify each individual character, and makes it really hard because they start
just press the move button.
Granted, I will say it is
the move button. The move button will allow you to move only on the character that's selected.
Yeah, move one character, but everyone will be all together and clumped in one area, and it gets kind of crowded.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, the gacha backgrounds aren't meant for 10 people.
Yeah, Monet, I wish that there was a functioning gacha that made you move several characters at once, but as far as I'm concerned, it's always one at a time.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wait.
No, Jackson's in the lead. And Nicole's catching up. Liam's walking, apparently.
Because
Jackson's
he
still in the
ran
lead.
out of breath, but I don't think I gave him proper expression. Oh,
Yeah. I won.
Good job, Jackson.
Good job to you two.
Hey, would you be up to going to the dance as friends?
I'm surprised that she actually made her blush for this scene. I thought the whole point was that they weren't really going to be romantically attracted to each other.
Listen, I don't know. When I was making it, I was just like, sure, well, or not. I don't know.
Sure. I'll be honest. I completely forgot to get a partner of my own.
Well, you got one now. Smell you later.
That line
was a
read
nice
could have been
wink,
better.
You did great.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the ending of Musical Season 1, actually. You know, main character accomplishes some impressive feats, family congratulates, you know.
You were so cool.
Well, it's
I'm
a
such a proud
finale.
mother.
That's
You must be hugging him, not choking him, but okay.
Yes. I
Gotcha.
know, it's like,
Welcome
that
to Gacha.
was a very, very bad angle to have.
Well, Gacha is very limited at poses, and the way you overlap characters, it gets complicated and confusing.
Yeah, in Gacha Life, the main method around that was to have that pose that you showed there. Of course, you'd have that pose slightly further down, and so that you clearly showed it all around the character's neck. But it was that pose. In Gacha Club, there are other ones where the character's like kind of like frozen like this or something, and then you can kind of like move their move their hands, which of course we found out a long time later.
Oh, I
At the very least,
remember. I
different
remember
poses
when
probably-
Quasi had Agatha and Morena were meant to. Wait, was it hug? Wait,
Yeah.
what were they meant to do? But Quasi didn't know, so just had them like holding hands.
Yeah. Quadzi is responsible for a lot of the unintentional shipping moments in the music, though.
Yippee! Anyways, do you guys want to go to Crystal's pizza place for dinner tonight?
Of course!
Do you want to come, Brad?
Sure, that sounds fun.
And now it's Musical Season 2 when they go off to get some food.
I want pizza.
You'll be proud too, you know.
I hope so. Me too.
I know so.
Let's Hey.
Oh yeah, here's the dance scene.
Oh,
See,
yes.
I went out of my way to add background characters.
Epic tunes. Absolute bangers right now.
Absolute emptiness.
Well, this didn't get me copyright claimed.
You can use properly tempoed music without having to go like into piano or something. Like what is this?
Hey, just saying. Is Pete secretly in love with Liam? Or wait, that's Brian.
They're just looking at each other.
Is Pete secretly in love with him? We'll never know.
By that logic, Miss Devil is in love with everyone. She's eyeing the entire crowd down.
This is fun.
Miss Devil's almost.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just waiting for the slow dance moment.
Why? Planning something?
No, okay, fine. Yes, I was imagining that...
That didn't take a lot convincing, did it?
Yeah.
It's like, I will never tell you. All right.
All right, I'll tell you. You broke me. How could you?
He's like, he turns to Mrs. Mavilda all of a sudden.
How can you dare to? All right! Now you know.
Can we...
Can we?
Kiss...
Sorry, it's cute. It's cute.
Yes. Yes, we
I
can.
don't care. It's cute.
Would you be up for another date next week?
I'd love to.
I may have achieved my ideal time, but for others, it was about time. And now it's time to play! Aidan line or Jacob line?
Jacob line, carry on. And Jacob line for 100 points.
100 points rewarded. You get.
Yay.
double Jeopardy, whatever.
Actually, wait. Fun fact. So, there's actually a few lines in exchange between Nicole and Jackson during the segment of the video, but I talked to Nova. But I didn't talk to Nova. Nova at that time wasn't around, and didn't have a chance to send in lines, and I didn't want to cut that line from Jackson, so I just left it in as its own line. So I just worked around. It was like, she's not gonna speak here, but Sarah says a line.
That's fair. We can always read out the exchange to see what might have been.
Sure. Yeah, you want to do it real quick?
All right. Pan to Jackson and Nicole, who just watched the whole thing go down. We didn't get a panning shot. We got a landscape, but okay. Nicole, now I see why I forgot to ask somebody. Jackson. Yep, pretty much. Nicole, been playing matchmaker, and then let's just say I made you my deals and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
To be fair, those weren't really necessary.
We get a panty shot into the mistake. They're in love. Sorry, it's cute!
I can't believe the year is over already.
Well, time does fly when you're with your girlfriend.
We're not like that. We're just good friends.
Sure you are. When are you gonna ask her out?
Oh, shush. Go back to making out with Noah.
Hey, you fucker.
I think this is right at the end. We're actually getting more facial expressions between these two and more body poses.
Yeah, I'm like, where was this 6 episodes ago?
Because I'm still learning.
Yeah, I think by this point we were starting to criticize. I think by this point some of the reviews had come out or something, or we'd actually offered criticism in the past to Aidan. So he was by then incorporating it. Race you back to my house.
Oh, not again. Come on. Also, I like how I incorporated the last song, the actual theme song in the background with this music. So, I was deciding what I was going to do for background music. I was like, you know what? The final song has a beginning portion. I'll just use it for the background. Oh, that's sad. Sad.
I know, right?
Dad.
And once again, just in case you hadn't seen an intro using clips from the show already, here's an outro using clips of the show.
Again.
These characters have canonical last names. Jackson's last name is Kindle. Brad's last name is Kendall. I just wanted to refresh that in case I didn't mention that in other reviews.
The dad actually had her name. And I like the... You can barely see the credits.
See, that's dance track right there. If they were dancing to that would have made more sense than piano.
Yeah. I'm not good at background.
I do like the fact that...
This Beethoven is such a bop. Watch me do a breakdance.
Beethoven Virus could be a good dance track for a party like that. Anyway,
just hit some moonlight.
Yeah, I like the fact that... I like the fact that Noah actually breaks away and immediately starts speaking, and it comes at the same time as the song's going, "This must been a long time coming."
Yeah.
Oh dear,
Heart keeps running. Sorry, I love this song. I love it. It's a great song. Oh, there's.
I like the full song. Yeah. Leon T as Coach Poole.
He asked me to do that. He asked me to do that. So
okay.
I did it. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'll have to ask him about that.
I remember talking to I think I talked to him about it, how you want me to credit him. He just credit me as Leon T.
Oh, for those
Leon T.
Yeah.
Like Leon Takshini?
Takshina, yeah. He's one of my friends from secondary school that I've kept in contact with.
Oh, by the way, I like the fact that I managed to get a chance to bring back Coach Poole, even though
because he was the original Coach Poole, and he agreed for just a couple of episodes to actually come in and do his lines again because he wasn't really that into voice acting. He spontaneously decided to join the series and then just left. Because
I'm so glad I managed to get VA back because that's good.
Yeah, it was originally going to be me. I missed out the chance to play this role twice.
I was surprised it wasn't you.
Yeah. She always young Jack. Oh yeah, there's Caroline. Now it's Tammy. Oh yeah. So I left the logo on here. Personally, I should have faded it on and faded it out, but I was having problems with the fade because I didn't know, like, it wasn't going to adjust opacity, so it would look black when it fades away, rather than, normal. And then a thank you for watching message that I like to include at the end of each season, which I did for season 2 of Fallen Angels. Thank you for watching.
Of course.
To celebrate this year.
I'm stretching.
I don't know. I like that finale, but again, my visuals are still pretty clunky in that episode. So, I learned. I got better.
Absolutely, you certainly did, and that's the kind of thing with historic reviews. Actually, is that really what you're looking back on is how much a person's improved, not how much a person needs to improve. Like with a recent review, that's the difference, really.
Yeah,
that's what to do them. So yeah, maybe I will actually talk to we did mention we're going to talk to a certain person to review one of their old works, and they actually did say several times that they changed their art style because I've represented them anymore, and they're not really happy with stuff in the past. So it would be interesting to offer up different perspectives, possibly more positive reinforcement.
What's the best art style? Is the real question. Ooh.
True. But for now, as far as this episode goes, I'd say solid finale. I'd say probably a tad short, which you can't really tell because we've been doing this for 45 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. I guess because it's a mini series, it didn't have that much to actually wrap up in such big detail.
I think
everything that we've mentioned so far that would be done better has been done better in later works by the same creator. So
yeah, but
not too much to add on right here.
Like
maybe cat design, because we talked about that a little bit, but honestly,
yeah, but like when it came to this series in particular, with the finale, definitely with the plot points, there was less resolve because there was 2 concurrent plots. Unlike Fallen Angels, that had like 6 general plots and character arcs and that kind of thing going on throughout that whole season. Like this had only 2, which would be Jackson trying to join the track team, and Brad, trying to ask out Noah and go to dance camp. And that
having
was
a better focus like that allows for more time to do that kind of to get invested in the characters. So that is a good
because normally, especially with longer series, I tend to have more time, especially with each character, so I get to do more with them, or more arcs and stuff, and more storylines, and flesh out events more often.
Absolutely. Maybe that's a good point to start off with for people when they want to do a voice acted series. Maybe some people shouldn't just go and plunge headfirst into a big series, kind of like I did for 3 years. But maybe start by doing some sort of mini series just to get some ideas out, refine some technicalities or something, and then move on, or keep it going. It doesn't really matter. I mean, again, I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless of what you want to do, that might be something that's just like do something low key at first to get your foot in the game, and then hire all of your background editors, prop makers, blah blah blah, lip sync for a mini series actually with fewer characters. A smaller cast is actually a good thing to do. So actually, I'd say Running With You is a good template for a mini series. Actually, maybe more so than Through Horizon because that ties into a larger series. This one actually stands out more on its own. So actually, if anyone's out there looking for some way to get an entry up into Gacha, check out this series. Genuinely, I think that's a good thing to do. Maybe think about designs from somewhere else, but check out the show.
Yeah,
Money, what do you think? Thanks, Moni.
Is she asleep? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I think she might be thinking.
I couldn't. I couldn't get my hands away from something. Sorry.
All right.
To unmute myself.
Oh right.
But yes,
okay.
Honestly,
I can imagine it's like she's just sat on her hands or like lying on her hands or something. Like
yes, I actually was lying on my hands.
Oh.
Hey!
Oh my gosh, your relationship psychic link is activating.
The mind meld has commenced.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, what did you think?
Well, I think it's a pretty alright episode. Animation could do some work.
Yeah.
Story-wise, a little pacing. Everything else is pretty alright. I wouldn't comment on it. It's alright.
And one thing to note about this episode, keep in mind, is that the fact that this episode directly serves as a parallel to episode 1. I don't know. This episode was rather short, though, but again, miniseries kind of. I don't know. The miniseries had substance, but it was very concise with what I was telling with the story. Versus most of my stories, which aren't as concise. Like, there's so much going on. Which I do like, the fact that this was concise, but I also like series that have a lot going on and a lot of stuff to do. But honestly, I do prefer a slightly smaller cast in this case.
Yeah, you know what? Both have their merits, and you've explored both. So yeah, that's good to do.
Yeah.
So, hope you all enjoyed. What did you think of the episode, actually? Let me know what you thought in the comments, and also go over, maybe like say that, well, actually no, you know what? Don't let me throw that over my comments. Go over to like the original video's comment, and then post your thoughts there.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, now that the cat's out of the bag, yes, go ahead and boost Aidan's channel. And Moni's too.
Me.
Yes, both links will be in the description. Go watch Running With You. Go watch Fallen Angels. Go watch videos. You know, just watch things.
Go watch The Mutant Girl. Go watch everyone channel. go watch It's a Family Thing. I voice acted there, and I edited some scenes for that.
My goodness, this is where it just like goes off the rails.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay, important thing, comments in that video. And as for this video, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Yes.